Happy birthday.
Happy
God.
Hey guys, welcome back to the
Happy
Gameplayx4
God.
Gameplayx4
Hey
podcast.
guys. God.
It's been quite a
A
week
week.
here. A lot of news on gaming, obviously, that we're gonna share that in a little bit. I just wanna first introduce a new guest here, Max.
Sure. So for today, usually, even though the podcast is called Gameplay X4, right? We're actually
Yeah, we're
a
more than
lot
a
more than
format.
that. And today we have one extra. Okay, so his name is Jeffers, and he's actually one of my best friends. He and I go way back from El Camino, and he has a really cool perspective when it comes to gaming, Pokemon, and unlike most of us, uh, like all of us here, he has the additional responsibility that he's a dad. Okay, so whenever a new game comes up, it's not only him, right, that wants the game, but now there's double demand in that house. So, for just to introduce ourselves, Jeffers, we have Ruben, who's my cousin. He's the one with the Steelers hat. We have
Hey.
Ray, who's the one who's screwing everything up. You have Kenneth, who's sitting on the chair, leaning on the side. You
Yeah.
have Josh, who's the one who has like the beard and the glasses,
Glasses.
and who's not surrounded by comic books. And the person who is surrounded by comic book is a resident Santa Claus. He is Andre. You wanna say a little bit something about yourself?
Hey everybody, thanks for having me. Just as Mac pretty much already introduced me, thank you for that. We go way back at El Camino, and I do have the persona of a very serious corporate person, but I am a single father at that. But I do game, and my son's a gamer too. So again, it is times two when these new games come out, like Mario Man, like it can be 60 or it can be 120. You know what I mean? It depends. There's ways to go. Let's just say you budget your way around it. There's some things you can do to kind of get both, but yeah, that's something I really have to consider. It's like, man, I would play that with my son, bro. Like, but I got to get this console and then that console. And yeah, man, it's a lot of supply and demand. I'm really excited to be here, honestly, because I want to see like a different perspective. Because I know other parents, and we all kind of complain about like our teenagers and all of that. So we've all been there. Mom, I want that. And my mom be like, Nah, we got to eat. So yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of put in my piece and hear what everybody else has to say. Thank you for having me in advance, and I can't wait. I want to jump in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got a good having you, man.
All right, Ray. So what's up? No, wait. First, I have something to say because we usually start by just like talking about how our week's gone. But I think Ruben has had a really nice week this week, right? All good news, right, Ruben?
Oh,
But
terrible.
for me, you know what I found out? So a bill from AT&T came to my house.
Oh,
I
God.
opened it, a paper bill, right? And then I noticed that the account number on the paper bill is different from what I have online. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I do some digging and I find out that when we moved, right, AT&T not only did transferred our service from our old address to this one, but they also opened a brand new account without letting us know. So
What?
for a year now,
Nice. Good shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for a year now, they've been charging us double for
Yeah.
internet.
Really? Yo, that's a
Yeah.
lawsuit.
Yeah, that's a
But
lawsuit right
That's
there.
that's
no.
amazing.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. When I heard that, I already knew where that was going. I was like, oh no, because AT&T runs off of credit as well, right?
Yes, exactly. That's
So
what
that's
that's
a hit to your credit. You have to dispute. Sorry, I'm the old man here, guys. I apologize. But at the end of the
Not
day,
better.
like,
Your
Yeah.
wife,
I'm like,
man.
yikes. Yeah, man.
yeah,
That was,
and man, and I was just like, what the and I like so all week has just been going on the phone back and forth. At the beginning, they told me like, oh, we're gonna issue a refund, but we can only give you 2 months back. And I'm like,
Wow.
What?
I
why?
need my money. I need my money, bro.
That's yeah, lawsuit.
Count it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
and
That's
and
terrible.
then I was just like, I called them again. I was like, oh, you know what? My manager authorized that we can give you 4 months. And I'm like, no, I want all of it. Like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, but this was a different address. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I can show you, right, that the mistake was yours. I went back bill by bill and it's like, did you see this? On this month, you changed the address just like we told you to.
Oh,
Who the hell told you to open a new account?
And you
No.
had evidence? Oh my god.
Yeah,
Gotta pull out the receipts.
I was just like, dude, what the
you
hell?
gotta have to.
Yeah.
After I said that, they were like, oh, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and we'll give you a full refund and all that. And I was just like,
Now you said
you.
it.
Yeah,
It's,
man.
it's because you had the receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah,
weren't,
of course.
if you didn't have the receipts, they're like, nah.
No,
Yeah,
we're gonna give you.
yeah,
We're gonna give you 2
exactly.
months. That's it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
So
bet
it
if
was-
you owe them like $10, they'd report that to a creditor. They'll hound you for that $10. They'll be like, "We don't care if you eat, sleep, poop anywhere, bro. We need our $10, and we are ruining you."
Yeah,
They don't
and
want to pay you back.
Next,
Yeah.
then next month it'll be $100 because of the interest.
Right.
Yeah. And I told them, if you for like we've been paying double. If you're gonna close this account now, if for some reason our internet drops, just know that my wife and I are teachers, and then we're teaching every day and we're using the internet. So if it
Ooh.
goes out, oh my god, you don't want to face me. Forget about me. You don't want to face my wife when she's pissed off.
Yikes.
Okay.
I'm just speaking from unfamiliar, but I'm just like, little sweetheart, like, just the mad part. I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't want to see it. You know what I mean?
Believe me.
Yikes.
Nope.
Max is still alive though, so he all right. All right.
Don't get between her and her job. Oh my gosh, you'll bite your head off. Anyhow, but that was my week.
All right.
Yeah. Andres, how have you been?
Busy, chilling, going as much as I can. Holding fort down. Yeah.
And Ruben, what about you? How's CSUDH treating you?
Terrible. Honestly,
why?
my first of all, my financial aid application didn't go through for the 25th time. They received my application and says, "Oh, it's just blank. The paper just come out blank, so it's no worries." You know what? You got to the end of the semester to pay your $3,500 for the classes.
But
That's
don't they
all- That's all
owe
it-
you money?
They owe me, out of those $3,500, they owe me $800 for last semester. That the teacher dropped the class, and it was his decision, so he has to refund the student back $800. And it says like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're gonna give you the paycheck with your financial aid check," but since they haven't received my financial aid application, I'm not gonna get anything. That's what they're saying.
So now you have teachers dropping classes, not students.
Students,
Yeah.
teacher dropping classes.
That's because of COVID.
Weird.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Our current situation right now, right? And
Yeah.
man, that takes me back to work, bro. Like way back, dude. All those inquiries that came in, I was like help desk, but not really. You know, like
yeah.
with financial aid, anything that happened with a computer. I say, like Max had to do. You know, you just have to show that black and white and go straight to administrations. Every school leaves some sort of administrative email, and the departments are separated by the emails. So it'd be administrations at your school.edu, and you just
Yeah.
pretty much show that black and white, and they have to get back to you in 48 hours, or it's on them.
Yeah, but
So-
it's funny because I called them too, and what it says like, "Oh, because our staff has cut in half, that means we can't process your application." But I called and said, "Look, every time I call, you guys say my application came out blank. I turn in different ways so you guys don't have a blank application. All of them, you guys receive a blank. So what I did now is I took a photo." A picture of my of the application that I fill it in and say, "Look, if these turn out blank, here's a photo with all my information on it. Just just
It makes it
type
hard.
Just type it on. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes.
Hey,
The
they
problem is
were born in the 21st century. They don't know how to use a fax machine.
Bruh, come on.
Yeah, the thing
No,
is,
the problem
that
is that
all the employees are working
lot
from
of-
home.
Yeah. And the
And
thing
the-
is that like they're cutting down a lot of people, but then they're leaving only the people that don't know how to use the system, which is kind of sucky.
So
And-
cringy, so cringy.
Yeah, and the problem is, there's only one way that they could receive the application is through Dropbox. And
Yeah, I mean,
that
what-
and that program is making applications turn on blank.
I see. So it's a problem. I'm telling you. Later on, they're gonna make you turn it in through turnitin.com to make sure that you don't plagiarize it.
Oh, man. Stop.
All right. So let's talk about some games here. Let's move on from this like
All
shitty
right.
week. Let's close it up and let's talk
Yeah,
about
let's get it.
Mario.
Super Mario.
So
3D
who got it?
Stars.
Who got Mario?
I think
I got
everyone
it.
did, right? Everyone
No.
even got
I mean,
a.
technically, I do. Yeah.
I
I
did
haven't had a
not
chance to
get
get
it.
it.
Everyone
not
at
get it
least a
yet.
digital copy because that's what we end up getting.
Oh, you guys got a
Oh.
digital copy?
Yeah, because
got
like
No, I got the physical because
we
I
couldn't
don't
get
gotta open
any
it.
physical copies.
Yeah,
they were
I-
all out.
They will make a lot of those. I think a physical in this regard would be pretty good. My son is like, "Yo, Dad, like cook it up." I'm like, "Hey, man, like you finished animation with Illumination. I mean, you've been working hard, but that's a lot of money, man. I don't know. You got a mama, bro. You better."
You got a mama.
I mean,
Because how
You
much
know,
is
said
it?
that's fully charged. Yeah, so it's a full. What is it like a
Full
full
price,
60? Haven't even
right?
looked at the
Yeah,
price
Yeah.
yet, like.
460.
Full 60.
And then
Yeah.
a physical copy because you know I'm a gamer too. You know I'll never let that go. But I'm just like, bro, that's $120. I'm trying to spend 60. All right, you got two pairs. Mathematics, man. You gotta work it out.
I only bought one copy because there's in the game there's like what 3 loading systems you could play, and I only have one Nintendo Switch. And my brother and me could share the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
That's
look,
about
look,
it.
look, I bought the copy because he forced me to. I was like, if
Was
you-
it physical?
no,
No,
I
physical,
was.
right?
We were
I
trying.
was, I was buying physical.
Actually, the
yeah.
Ruben reserved a physical copy, but then GameStop says, sorry," and then they canceled the.
They canceled that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
Oh,
put
you-
money down?
I put money down. I put $5 down, but they say, "Oh, we
They will
cancel your
refund you.
request."
They'll refund you.
They
They'll do you
refund me
pretty-
$5. Yeah.
Wait,
Good
did you
thing.
pre-order? You pre-ordered online, right?
I brought a line and say, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, they could just
We run
cancel
out.
it the next day. But either
And
way,
that's why I always pay it all off because it's just like, look, you can just give it to me, or you know, you can give it to this guy who only paid $5, or you can give my whole 60.
Yeah.
You gotta take the
And
choice.
yeah, and yeah, I need that ASAP.
Yeah, so like I saw a picture of people actually making lines, you know, on outside the Gardena GameStop to try to get this game. So
Yeah, but it was
mean-
funny because at the GameStops, some of them were closed. Like the one by my house, they were just closed. Both of them.
No, in my
Yeah,
neighborhood,
yeah,
we
they
got
went at
two
12.
GameStop.
Yeah.
One of them went broke. So
Oh.
all right, so that was 3D Mario, and so like you guys bought it, but has anybody started playing it? Is it
No.
like significantly different?
No.
From what I see, it's clearer. Like the image is clearer than it was because you know it's not standard definition anymore.
Well,
no.
unfortunately, Super Mario. 64.
Oh, and another
What
thing
I-
that you have to know is that Mario Sunshine is not analog.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, there is no. You can't make FLUDD like
So
control.
even
him
if you use the game controller?
yeah, no, yeah, it doesn't recognize GameCube support, so controller support.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, dude.
Good job, Nintendo.
Yeah, it's all digital. So if you, as soon as you press the button, FLUDD is maximum pressure. There's nothing in between anymore.
Um, They messed that up because that was the whole
What?
point of Sunshine.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm pretty sure that freaking Nintendo was just like, oh man, we should make Mario Sunshine just like Hero 101. It's like you put your name, just like do a little circle in the screen.
They
Yeah,
need to like release a patch.
yeah, and then on top of that, Mario Galaxy's joy pointer is not as
Uh-huh.
precise either.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you have to like sometimes reset it.
Oh no, that's gonna drive both of us crazy at home.
So not worth it.
Well,
Damn.
and also
Already-
all three games are actually an emulation and not a port.
Yeah,
So
What?
so they're not even ports of the original game. They're emulations that Nintendo did because they were just too lazy to port them.
Disrespect.
And they charge you $60 for this dog shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna start singing Deception from Lion King, man. This is too much.
That's
you know?
crazy because I was like, damn, they could at least remade 64, but they're like, nah, they're gonna
look,
buy
if-
it
look,
anyways.
if you want a definitive edition, there's a program called Dolphin. I'm not gonna say anymore.
See, I know what you're talking about. You know,
You can
Yo.
play that in 4K, 150,000 frames a second.
With the analog
Street,
controller.
bro. Yeah, I know about that.
Yep.
But isn't it crazy that for Mario's 35th anniversary, it's like they just don't give a fuck? Like
You can tell
Zelda had
this
more
was
respect
like-
on his
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
anniversary than
You can
fucking
tell-
Mario did.
You can tell this game was put like 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
No,
This wasn't planned like for
Right.
years. It was like, yeah, let's give them 3D World. Just
No,
put
no,
these
no.
two together.
The development time for all this shit was 6 months.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was put like that.
Just copy and
They
paste.
just
like,
literally
Telling you,
went and
lad.
just took and
You know what
dragged
thing it
onto
is?
the right
People
folder.
for the whole year, people were speculating since last year that they were gonna do a 3 Mario collection or something like that, and they were probably like, "That's a good idea. Let's do it."
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Perfect. There you go.
And then
Yeah,
like,
but-
You see, to me, that's just a missed opportunity because technology today, there's too many diehards who will buy that game like remaster. You guys are remastering games I didn't even care for when I was my son's age. You know, Mario obviously is iconic in a lot of families. They could have just like, bam, high definition. You know what I mean? Remake, whatever.
Yeah.
Polished it up
Right.
and gave it to us. Not an emulation. Like I could take a port, but an emulation though,
Yeah.
I might
I
just
mean,
go
like-
$60. That's
It's
a
like
whole
Andre
different-
said. It's they care more about the Zelda anniversary than they did the Mario one.
They better
Yeah,
not
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
better not
so
mess about
weird
it, though.
because Miyamoto is like heads Nintendo, and you know he has a lot of like headway of like decision making and stuff, and just like even on his character, is like you don't see much. I mean, other than like the NES games and Super Nintendo games, I mean, what else did we get from Mario? Or really, we didn't get anything else.
We got
And
a
you would
Mario
think
Battle
it would-
Royale.
don't worry. Miyamoto is too busy working in the next Metroid. Okay, we can skip.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yo,
a
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Before
Wait,
that,
I
you
see that in 3 years.
before that, he's planning the next Fire Emblem game. That's what he's planning.
Yeah, like, and meanwhile,
you
you
shut
have
the fuck up, Ruben. You shut your dirty mouth up.
and meanwhile you have like Sakurai like learning to code with his fucking tongue because both his hands don't work. It's just like, no, I gotta do this shit.
No, Sakurai
Batman
is
did
legit a
not stop
monkey.
working. Like,
He's legit a monkey. He uses his feet.
We'll see the
Yeah.
next Metroid game when in the same year that Dead Space 4 comes out.
We'll
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
No. When we get another Mother game.
Oh,
oh, man.
So this week, right, we finally settled the argument that we've had for the past, what was it, like 6 podcasts, right? So who won the bet?
Hold on.
Ooh.
Wait. Hold on.
Nobody-
Hold
nobody
on.
won.
Uh-oh, he snitched. He snitched on you.
First of all, what was the bet about?
Look, I'm just saying that I called.
I have the cash right here. This man walked all the way to my house to deliver all these $20 dirty
Yo,
ass
that's
bills.
Go with you.
that's 100
Go with
miles,
you.
bro. That's a lot of walking.
Oh, well, it's clear now who won then.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like
Okay.
it's like
No
this.
hesitation.
It's the Monopoly strats,
What-
okay?
What was the
Okay,
bet?
you know, like you know how like in Monopoly when you're losing, you give them like a lot of money just so you can see money coming back to you. Like it's the same way with Audra. It's like you give him instead of giving him a solid 20, you give him a lot of ones, so at least he has to count it to make you feel better.
But what was the
Should've
bet
given him
about?
quarter.
Anyways, Ken left with cookies, drinks, and a microwave from my house after that.
what? The?
I think he went there to change. See?
Yo, your boy
That
Santa
was an
Claus
offer
came
up
through.
deal, bro.
I know, right?
Man, that's crazy. No, next time I'm gonna go ahead and bet for Andres shit.
You might get a bridge next time,
You
yeah.
bet Andres $2,000 come back with a car.
You come back with a Tesla, bro.
I'm just like, hey, look, I went in. It came out with a Gen Min 10. By the way, Andres, but you know what popped up on Mercari, which is like a
No.
selling app this week?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so you know what popped up? What giant size X-Men
Oh,
number
really?
1. Yep, and it's sold for guess for how much?
35,000.
$25.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
$25. It sold for $25. And like, I don't know if it was
the
a reprint. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know if it
'cause
was a
they just-
reprint or something, but it was just like, what?
they just did not too long ago a fast like a reprint of all the old covers.
Oh,
And a lot
okay.
of people
Alright.
have been getting duped for the originals because they haven't been listing them off as like
Yeah, because I
you
got
know,
this
reprints.
one.
Right,
This is a
right.
reprint. Yeah,
Right, exactly.
but it has even all the ads inside and all that.
Look, we've been
Yeah.
friends for
Yeah.
a while. Right? We homies. Let me get that off you real quick, all right? Let me just...
That was the last thing I bought from Jeffries. Anyhow, so now that we settled that argument, right, and then now the Xbox is, and whoa, it's just around the corner. How many of you guys have pre-ordered it, or did you guys even try?
Well, look,
Well, you can until the 22nd.
the Xbox.
I saw
for Xbox, or are you talking about Xbox and PlayStation put together?
either one of those.
The PlayStation is up for pre-order 2 days
Wow.
ago.
Yeah,
but the
I
Xbox
tried.
is not until next week.
Dude, it's
Okay,
been
right.
a total war over that thing. I know a
Yeah.
girl who had like tabs open, like just cycling through it. She
I
was
fucking
nuts.
tried.
That's the story of this week.
Yeah, I actually have a story on the pre-order of PS5.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So they my brother actually got the pre-order for PS5. He actually bought the bundle from Best Buy that came with like an extra controller, and it came with Spider-Man the game. So he paid.
Oh, you know what? He got that bundle that popped up mysteriously at midnight, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
so the
I
thing
also
so
got
the
that
thing
one.
was
Really, I didn't even hear about that.
yeah. So the thing was that night before midnight hit, I saw someone and I think I texted Josh later on, like, hey, you
You
can
text me in the
pre-order.
morning.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, I texted you the next day. But that night, on Instagram, someone went to GameStop and got a physical pre-order for the PS5 and the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man. So I was just like, how? What the fuck? So I told my brother because he wants it for Christmas and that's gonna be his gift, and he's like, oh, let me check, right? So he's checking, and we go through GameStop and they have all the bundles, and we're trying to pre-order, we couldn't, and so we're like, all right, so maybe until midnight they will release them, and then so he set an alarm off, and then midnight hit, and GameStop didn't have them. So he's like, let me check other websites, and he hit Best Buy, and they had the bundles too. So he hit it, and he got it, and we paid all of it online, and
Yeah.
so he
So actually,
basically got
yeah. So
confirmed his.
actually, a funny thing happened with the PlayStation pre-orders. Right, they were supposed to go up for pre-order yesterday, but they ended up going for pre-order 2 days ago because
Right.
what happened was like it was a local retailer, like a small retailer, but they had like an online store.
Mm-hmm.
They put them out early by like I think on purpose or by accident. I don't know which one, but they put it out early. And so when the other stores saw them do that, like Best Buy and GameStop,
Walmart.
they were like, "Oh,
Amazon.
screw that! We're not gonna lose money." So they all opened their pre-orders at the same time.
Yeah.
The good thing is that the scalpers didn't get them because they were open so early. But the bad thing is that the people who are like signed up on the list, they didn't get the chance to pre-order.
Yeah, that was some
Oh,
bullshit
yeah.
because I had signed up like 5 people, and then my brother got it, and I was waiting, and all you could buy was the accessories and the game, but not the console itself. And I was like, so why was I waiting? Why did you send me an email if I couldn't even freaking buy it?
Yeah, just that whole thing was like a shit show, but there was people that got lucky, like my brother.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect him getting it, and he's like, hey, I got it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw a couple of people get it from my group of friends on Instagram. I feel like out of everybody I saw who tried, I think one person was able to get it, and they got it from Best Buy.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
stores
no.
had like very short stock. Like I think
Yeah.
the GameStop near our house, they only had 20.
If you got your hands on a PS5, you about to make some money.
Yeah, so going back to the Xbox, you don't worry, you have like 4 or 5 days to order it. No one's gonna want that.
Yeah, and then plus like they're also doing like the payment plans, so like I
But
feel
Xbox
like
is not limited like the PlayStation is.
yeah, and it's not limited. Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people who miss out on PlayStation are gonna get like,
I mean,
especially people who have kids, like, or
there is
people are waiting
limitations,
for the new
but
generation.
they're gonna have way more units.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's-
most
you have
definitely
it,
more
like-
than PlayStation.
It's a good marketing ploy, right? Like with the Switches, if you have noticed, it's more like a pattern when you try to market a product because you don't want to make too many and they don't sell. You never know
Right.
who's going to be sharing a console, how many in the household, etc. So they're going to say, okay, let's see how this set will do. They're going to leave it to the Lions to fight over, and then they're going to say, you know what? Actually, we have a second wave coming. Here's a second wave, and so on and so forth. I keep maximizing those sales and those products by certain quarters. It's so much business involved with that stuff, dude. Again, sorry, I'm the old guy here, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, man, like I'll be damned. because I see a lot of people like really going like fighting tooth and nail for these. I'm so scared of when there's gonna be like Black Friday shopping sales when this thing actually releases
Oh, dude.
physically.
Oh, I know.
You know,
Black Friday during Corona.
So-
I gotta man.
The resale is
Nah,
gonna be
bro.
crazy, like the PS3.
that was
What?
really bad. The PS3, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like an ongoing thing.
Yeah, I actually
Really
I saw an
PS3.
old lady get stomped out over a PS3 a couple.
Oh,
that was
man.
a
Yeah,
kid,
that was nuts.
Wait, what?
Damn.
No,
Yeah,
really,
like
that
yeah,
happened.
no, yeah, we were that was like the last Black Friday I ever went to because I was like that was crazy. But we went to I think it was like a Walmart near my house at the time.
There you go,
Like,
Walmart.
we got a PlayStation 3, but there was like one more left, right? And so this old lady grabbed it, and I guess she wanted it she could use it for herself, who knows? But she grabbed it and she was about to put it in a cart, but then some other lady came and she was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna use that for my son," yada yada yada. So she grabbed it from the old lady, but like they were like kind of like tugging over it, and so her boyfriend came over or whatever, and he just punched her in the face and just like, and then
Wow.
he started
Oh
stomping on her,
no, bro.
and then like it caused like this whole panic, and then people were just like running, all that stuff, and like she was just on the ground, like all these people stampeding around. I'm just like, I'm never doing Black Friday again. Like, these people are crazy over a PlayStation. Like, yeah,
Wait,
right.
which version was it? Like the
It was the original. It was the
Oh, the fat one?
fat version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was this version.
back
Yeah.
compatibility.
Oh, okay, it starts showing off.
Yeah, the one that had the
Yeah.
backwards compatibility. Yeah.
We see you. Let me get that though. I'm just playing. All right.
and I wanted to
No, like Anders is like I don't know how, like, but whatever he just stretches his hand, he's like, shoot, he gets something. Right?
He knows
You
what to
talking about
say. Yeah,
this?
he knows what to say.
Oh, Flair.
don't ask him to produce a Saint Bernard though, because he can, and that's what he meant.
You want a Great Dane? You want Saint Bernard? You want a Labrador?
Yeah. All right. So, but then now, for you, Jeff, which one does your son want, or does he not care? He's just happy with the Switch.
He's definitely. Oh, he just forsake the Switch, dude. That's why I only bought one because I know how he is. So he's pretty much like PC predominantly because all the kids are into Roblox, Minecraft, that kind of thing. And now I got him on Space Engineers. I'm forcing him to think when he plays, right? That's my little thing. But like he's really looking at the PS5 because he's a huge Miles Morales fan. I got him on the comics, you know what I mean? I got him on the old school stuff. And he's looking at Spider-Man like licking his lips and doing that Birdman hand rub like that. You know, and he also likes Dark Souls, right? So Demon Souls remastered.
Really?
Yeah, and
That's
I let him
dope.
play it. I mean, he's going to be 13 in November, and he doesn't understand that I'm high key, low key, kind of manipulating the way he thinks because you're going to play games that make you fail over and over again.
Right.
But you're going to keep trying. So hey, welcome to STEM. You're gifted magnet. Yeah, you doing algebra 1 in 7th grade. Yeah, have fun. You're gonna bomb it a lot.
Oh, dude.
But
Right.
just like Demon Souls, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's going for
Yeah.
PS5. He's fine with the all digital version. I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm a script for. But like I said, team effort. You know, we'll see. We'll see. It's on his birthday too, dude. He's like November 12th, PS5. I'm like, no.
Wow,
That's the word.
I'm like,
holiday
well,
season too.
Demon Souls is going to be on PC, so even if you weren't able to get them on PS5, you can get them on PC.
yeah, so we're covered. He's spoiled for the most part, but I really do make him. I bust his chops for that stuff, dude. Like if I'm going to be
Yeah.
dropping a dime on some of these things, you better make me proud to do it. Because he just got a PS4. And I put it on my Instagram, like, yeah, my son earned the PS4, you know, and everyone's like, oh, he's spoiled. No, he got to slave for this, bro. Like,
Yep.
you don't understand. This is a
I
lot.
remember that. I had to slave just to get me a GameCube back in the day, bro.
Oh yeah.
I remember my
Yeah.
pops like, if you get anything under a 95, you're not getting. I was like, come on, guy.
I had to scam for a GameCube, dude. I swear. Like I remember one time I found a Game Boy Advance SP. I was just like, yo, who wants this for a GameCube? Someone really brought their GameCube. Traded me that GameCube for a Game Boy Advance. I'm just like, damn, man. And just imagine like how my mom felt when I walked in with a GameCube and she was like, yo, where'd you get that from? I'm just like,
You robbing, bro. Like, what you do?
I remember that me and my brother had to work in construction just to get the Xbox 360.
Yeah, but I was like, well, yeah, whatever.
For me, it was the 64. I had to wash my dad's car for like a month or so to get it. Now, keep in mind that this is not in the U.S. This is back in El Salvador, and hot as heat, and with the fucking crime being like. So every time I was out there washing the car, I was putting my life at risk. I was either going to be kidnapped or killed. Forget it,
Man.
Yeah.
Those are things I make sure I instill in my son, right? Because I've obviously been mainly here, but my heritage and my family's Belizean as well, so there's a lot of back and forth, And I'm telling him, hey, bro, I'll take you to Belize and work them fields real quick. You're spoiled, bro. Like, you gotta understand, like, there's a lot of crazy conditions people got to get what you got. So that's why I make sure I tell them, like, and again, I'm not the perfect parent. I'm be straight up about that, y'all. I am not the perfect parent. All right, but it's just like, dude, if I'm really gonna okay, you're not gonna pay my light bill 2 months from now. He probably deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta come on, man. You gotta earn it, bro. Like, I'm not about to sit here and just drop these dimes on all these consoles, all these updates. Like,
so, and I'm curious because like Andre said that you guys paid it off, right? One shot. That's it, right?
Like $549 or something after tax, right, or something like that.
Yeah, but
he got the bundle, so it was like $900.
Culo.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah, because
Damn, that's a car.
Yeah, that was an extra controller, the game, and I forget it was something else. So, and he got the disc version. He didn't get the discless version. And so everything with tax and everything came out to like $900 and something.
$400 more, my God.
Yeah.
Those controllers probably like $70. Like,
Yeah, they $70.
They are.
Yeah.
No,
like,
they're like $80.
Did he get the charger too?
He got that separately.
So
through
$1,000
somewhere else. Yeah. And then he still wants to buy more. On top of that,
Yo,
he
that's
still
a
wants to buy
38.
right. And then on top of that, he still wants to buy more games. So he's like, I want Cyberpunk 2077, and I want.
Dude, he wants to pay rent. That's what he wants.
Right. And then my mom had told me, she's like, if you get this, you ain't getting shit for Christmas. She's like, all you getting is $200 to your name, and that's it. Like
that's a lot.
That's still
That's $1,200 in the last 3 fucking months.
All I get sucks, bro.
Yeah,
And this is your mom, dude. Your mom who buys hot toys. Your boy who buys like,
hey, some hot toys kind of fire though. I'm not even gonna lie. I got that Bruce Lee one, man. I'm just like, that's just me though.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
my mom bought hot toys. She bought a Tom and Jerry statue that's this big, like a baby size.
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, like she goes, like, when she gets into something that she likes, she goes all out. She doesn't care. Like when they came out, yeah. I mean, when they came out with the Stan Lee hot toys from Thor Ragnarok, she went all in for that. She's like, oh, I gotta have my old man. I have to have my old man.
Dude,
she went all in.
Hey, I'm still looking for one. I'm still looking for one. I mean,
damn, that's crazy. All right, so they didn't offer. There wasn't an option for payment plans at this point, right? Or is that just Xbox?
Well, only Xbox. PlayStation did not offer that, and that's where I think, like, I know you as a parent, like I was saying this in the last podcast, like I kind of had to raise my brother, so I kind of understand the parenting thing. So like I raised my brother since he was a baby, and then going into now, and then out of anyone in the household, the one that I kind of curtails and has to discipline him is me. Like, I've always had to, like, whether I get something, he has to get it too, or I always have to think about him or buy something for him. So like I was telling these guys in the last podcast that I feel like parents are going to go towards more the Xbox than the PlayStation, because the thing that they do have is the payment plan. And if you wanted to get the more expensive Xbox, it's only $35 plus the internet and the Game Pass that you are only paying every month for 24 months. And then, the kids, if you make it, let's say the holiday season, and you curtail it to, with Fortnite, and you put Fortnite on the box, then, of kids are going to be like, oh, Fortnite, give me that one. And, I only have to pay $35 a month? Okay.
Right.
Rather than pay $600 or $800 for the PlayStation. in one
Yeah.
go.
You're absolutely right. And then like first and foremost, I'll open up with like, being a parent, it comes with its with its generalities, right? But ultimately when you
Right.
live a plural lifestyle, that's what we all have in common, whether it's brothers, like a spouse, a niece, and when you're taking care or if you're codependent or etc., someone else depending on you for their livelihood, you have to consider price. So
Right.
obviously the Xbox, financially speaking, is the more attractive console if he's going to be playing things like Fortnite. No exclusives. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like if Spider-Man's on there, I'll say you better think about that Xbox, bro. Like
Right.
think about that. Same,
Yeah,
same.
but also you also get the library of Xbox, right? And whatever new game does come out,
Yeah,
I mean, it's on
You
the
get to
Game
play it
Pass,
first, right?
and you don't even have to go out to the store and fucking buy it. So
yeah.
like, as a parent, you're like, shit, this is amazing.
Very attractive.
We're
Yeah,
gonna see
Right.
if you change your tune when we continue on with the podcast, because there's a lot of things the PlayStation revealed this week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
here's,
I,
here's my,
that's
here's my thing
right.
because
Right.
like how I see it is, I'm an erudite of computer science, right? I'm looking at these consoles, I'm just like, I know what's inside them things, man. Tell me about teraflops and all this goofy, acronym you can bring up. Yeah, marketing employees. I know how it's going to run, right? What about those thermals? You put a single fan on the top. Okay, I can start roasting these little things, right? But I digress. Bottom line, like when it comes to pricing alone, the Xbox, you're right, it will gravitate more towards other parents, especially because of the condition that we're in right now. You have to
Right.
pinch your pennies and your coins, right? There's one of those times where I'm just like, man, I would love to swipe my card for a PlayStation right now, man. I wish I had $1,000, but realistically speaking, nah, I can't be doing that because there's rent, there's
Right.
insurance, some kind of coat, so many other things I got going on. These companies don't
Mhm.
care, so I can't get that like
Right.
PlayStation, but. Xbox to me, maybe we'll talk about this later on, but I close with even though Xbox obviously is the underdog here when it comes to consoles, I feel like Microsoft and Xbox are two completely different divisions are pretty much marketing in a different way. They're going towards cloud gaming, where it doesn't matter what
Right.
device you're on because a lot of us have PCs, right? So do we really have to compete in a console anymore? Really? You know what I mean? With subscriptions making more money than anything else, Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, you name it. What if we've got a service that was affordable towards the majority versus focusing towards exclusives like Sony? Right? And then Nintendo's just
Right.
like, hey, everybody buy our stuff. We're good for families. A lot of people are focusing on families, so everybody kind of has their niche that they serve. So I kind of see what they're doing there too. So it all makes sense to me.
Right.
Mm.
So, in terms of PS5, I see it right here on this. You want to jump in now?
Yeah. So they had their PS5 showcase this week on was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Yeah. And so they showed the price.
Wouldn't know.
And so they showed the price. The digital edition is supposed to be 400. The standard is supposed to be 500. But they are essentially the same console. They're not weaker and more powerful like the Xbox is.
Right.
So that was one of the good points. One of the negatives though is that going forward, it looks like Sony is going to start pushing up the price of games to $70 a game.
No,
Yeah.
that's official.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, we already knew
official.
that.
Yeah, it's
Like
official.
it's
Mhm.
everything's
Yeah.
gonna be $70. I'm gonna just wait till games get cheap.
With the exception of Spider-Man, right? Because
Yeah,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man's
their
50.
is 50, right? It's their
The
base
Ultimate is
game is
70
50,
though.
but the ultimate is 70, and that's
Right.
where
Yeah.
the difference is.
The Ultimate comes with the original Spider-Man, but just remastered.
Right,
Yeah,
and then I
and
think
wireless.
DLC.
Yeah, it comes with everything that the first one. I mean, the DLC is garbage, but
Yeah.
so.
Oh no, I'm not
Mhm.
talking about. I'm not talking about the original Spider-Man. I think for the newer
I
Spider-Man,
don't
there's
think they're
also
gonna.
going to be DLC.
I don't think that's. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Mm.
70. Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
All right.
I will
Look at-
personally be surprised if they don't try to drop a season pass on us.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
they
know what I
most
mean?
definitely
Hey,
will. I
that's
mean, they did
They
it. They
go-
did it
they
with
go
the
milk.
original.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gonna do it. They're gonna do $50. Let's go.
They like we already gave you the first one for like $20. Like you'll go
Yeah.
pay for the DLC.
Yeah. So all these games were in the showcase. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Resident Evil 8, Demon Souls, and you had a teaser for God of War Ragnarok. Right?
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So the thing about this is that all these games, when it comes to console, are exclusive to the PlayStation 5.
Consoles.
Consoles, yeah, consoles.
Yeah.
So
You know what's funny? Everyone lost their shit when they saw the God of War logo pop up, but everyone was bitching when Nintendo did that with Metro Prime 4.
because Metroid Prime 3
They were
came out
like,
like what,
Kratos
15 years
had to
ago.
go over there.
But we knew God of War 2 was gonna come out regardless. Like we knew that, but they did exactly the same thing. They just did a little animation. I was like,
You know what was surprising about it? That it's gonna be ready next year.
that's not
That
so
was the only.
surprising. You wanna know
To me,
why?
it is.
They have the engine already. Once they have the engine,
Well,
games
yeah,
kick out like that.
right. But the thing is, to get the story up, to do all the
Bro,
animations, and to do
once they
all
You
that.
could
once
crunch
they
that
finish
out.
the game, they start on the next game.
The next game.
Right.
So once the game is
But
already out, they're already working on the next one.
right. But the thing is, the last time that Cory Balrog gave his interview, he's like, "Oh, I'm not doing God of War until later, like way later. I'm taking a break.
That
Like
boy lied.
I accomplished a shitload of things with this game. I'm good. I'm good for a good while. Like we accomplished what we had to with God of War, right? And then he's like, so I'm taking a huge ass break. I felt like that fool didn't say like how long the break was because he was just like, I'm gonna take a break. All right.
No, you know how I
Tomorrow we
know
starting.
that they were working on it because they've always had hired. They're always hiring as Places Santa Monica. Like there's always a listing up there, and it's for God of
Right.
War because that's what they freaking make. And on top of that, like, you think Sony's gonna be like, you gonna take 2 years off? No, you better make that God of War 2.
Ruthless.
Not only that, but a lot of games get crunched out in a year or two anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
most of these games, like it doesn't take that long to make a game. It
Not
takes
like
a
it used
long time, but you can make a game in 2 years, even 1 year, and it'll be good. It's just a lot of crunch.
Once you get done with the planning, it's just putting the pieces together.
And then once you have the engine done, it's like clockwork, bro. It's just like clockwork.
The engine is an essential part, right? But when you brought up the animation, I'm sitting here like holding my heart, bro, because the rendering, like, debugging, there's a lot that goes into animation, especially 3D.
Right.
It's sometimes flashy as God of War. I'm telling you from experience, that's my like main occupation. It is like hell on earth. So like
Especially
you have
rigging. Oh my god.
like, you have to-
Fucking despise that.
Yes, and it's like when they push it out in a year or two, it's admirable. Like and it's really good. So when you have bigger titles, they get more people with more, obviously
Right.
with more experience, who has more under their team. There's a lot of people who go in there under contracts, like myself, and we don't get our names put on those credits. They don't even tell us what it's for. You sign an NDA and you get to work. And you know what it is. If you're like into the company, you'll say, okay, I know this is Kratos' sword, bro. Like,
Mhm.
like I know what's going on.
Yeah.
But man, it's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of pyramiding that goes into that stuff too. So when they do push out a game in a year or two, it's admirable. But then like once you get into the industry and you start seeing how they get on those interns and those new guys, man, it'd be like yikes. So you do want to support the games and et cetera. But all these exclusives for PS5, yeah, it's very attractive, right? But I'm more curious on what
That's like Hogwarts.
yeah, like dude, that low key looks like. I was like, all right,
Really?
son, we don't do Harry Potter.
Hogwarts?
Yeah.
You know
dude.
what? I was surprised with Hogwarts too. Like just the RPG element, the action RPG element of it.
Mhm.
I was like,
okay.
When it came out, I was like, you can skip this.
Really?
Let's move it
I
on.
feel like
I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt like that about Resident Evil 8. I'm just like, I played too many of them. I played the originals,
there aren't enough Harry Potter games. That's the thing.
But they aren't
Yeah.
good Harry Potter
it's
games.
new.
out
It's
there.
like newer. Like it's like more of a new thing.
Right.
Like, okay,
It's not like Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings. Lord of the Rings has
Yeah.
good games. Harry Potter
Yeah.
hasn't had one good game.
It's gonna be a lot better than that Marvel game, piece of shit.
That's a fact. That's a fact, yo. Yo, just looking at Miles Morales, you're like, damn, this blows the Avengers out the water like
Oh, yeah.
nothing, bro. Like, you see those particles on screen? Oh, man, I can't wait, man. That game is great, man.
It's like when I do manage to save money and I'm holding like, let's just say it's a good day and I'm holding $300 I can blow off. I'm like, am I really about to drop 60 on this? And then y'all got a season pass. And those
Mhm.
animations looking hella nasty right now. I don't know. I'm gonna wait. Let's see what the updates do, bro. I don't know.
Yo,
You know,
like,
but
it's crazy. Avengers, like in Square, they really had the balls to give you battle pass per character.
disgusting.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, really per character? Like,
I was like, fight me, man. I couldn't do
They
it.
like
oh
money, dude.
man, they DOA, man. That's
Yeah,
It's like
Square Enix-
Capcom.
Square-
Is that you?
Yeah, Square Enix is really hurting right now.
Yeah.
Yo, man,
Yeah.
Square. I like Square, but yeah, they better not fuck up 16 because 16 looks so fresh, man.
Look,
That's a
I-
banger
They are
right there.
gonna
I'm
do it.
actually a huge fan of the Final Fantasy 14 The Real Reborn team. You can just see that scream in 16. So I know it's gonna be some pretty nice.
I originally thought that was like a 14 expansion or something like that, and then
Yeah,
16,
really?
I was like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
The combat is so
Combat's
smooth,
gonna be
man.
crisp. Yeah.
It
Oh,
actually
yeah,
looks
they-
like Devil May Cry cross between Final Fantasy.
Final
Right.
Fantasy.
But I know they took heavy influence on that on the battle system from remake from Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because
of course,
a
yeah.
lot of those a lot
Yeah,
of those elements that I
finished that
saw.
before they started
Because
16.
15 came
Right.
out, and then they took what they did with 15, threw it, made it better on 7, and then
Right.
finished 7 first, then give us 16.
I
So-
wouldn't.
yeah.
That makes sense. I wouldn't matter if they just rehash that battle system. If you just keep refining it and making it better, like it wouldn't feel
Yeah.
as slow. You know what I mean?
And they
Yeah.
need to do that with Kingdom Hearts too, because that combat system
No,
is
that's no
basura.
saving. That's no saving that.
Man, Kingdom Hearts combat system, that's the reason why I don't play that game.
Bro, you can't save Kingdom Hearts 3. It's too late. It's gone.
I'm
Demon
a
Souls-
Kingdom Hearts fan too, and I can't play that freaking game.
But Demon Souls looks what Blue Point did was god tier.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks so like if we're talking about like next generation games, that's probably as close as it gets next to Black Myth Wukong. Like
Ratchet and
that
Clank.
And Ratchet and
yeah,
Clank.
Ratchet
right?
and
Clank.
But I mean,
Ratchet and
as in
Clank,
like
that game looks.
as in like
Yeah.
but I mean
Very
like
nice,
as in
very-
To
Right,
me,
well,
Ratchet
Ratchet
and Clank is
Clank-
probably the most top tier looking next generation game so far.
Ray
Those
tracer.
physics,
Right.
those ray tracing, all those physics, man, that looks so sick.
The
It's like
physics
it's like what you said earlier, Josh, last podcast, and I was listening to it. It's like you're bringing in the formula of PlayStation to the next generation. What do? You climb and you sneak.
You don't do that with Ratchet and Clank though, so. But it's true. That's the PlayStation formula. Prove me wrong.
I have a question for the group because I'm curious.
Uh-huh.
How do you guys feel about the ray tracing gimmick? And mind my terminology, gimmick, right? How do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like it's something that was necessary to resell a system, or do you feel like it's just like an enhanced PS4 Pro?
So you're
So,
saying ray tracing on the consoles,
Yeah,
not ray tracing in general.
just like on a console specifically. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's nah. That's nah.
Because like I know, and correct me, I'm pretty sure you guys will have more detail than I will, but I know you can turn that feature off and get higher frame rates and smoother gameplay. I'm more like put it on 1080p or 1440p and get like my full 120 frames. I want that to look as smooth as possible. You know what I mean? Versus just having some lighting here and there. And
right. I like there's something that a perfect example is Devil May Cry the special edition, right? That one is actually gonna pull through 120 frames per second, and that's an option that you can take with ray tracing.
Okay.
But that
is a
that
PGen game.
Right? But the thing is, with that game, like, are you really going to be paying attention to fucking reflections and light when you're fucking battling?
all.
No, but
Believe it or
like that-
not, you will notice it.
Yeah.
Oh
you
no,
will.
I'm not
You
saying you don't.
will
you
notice
won't,
it.
I'm not saying you won't notice it, but is that important in that game?
Yo, Ruben,
Well,
show us up.
You know what I mean? Like when it comes to visuals, lighting is very important because without lighting, games just look like hot garbage.
I mean, not only
Right.
that, but when it comes to consoles in general, like one of the main selling points is how it looks. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's like the Sony has spent the last year, 6 months telling everyone how fast their SSD is, and as soon as the game got shown, what did everyone say? Oh, that looks cool. That looks good.
No one was talking about how fast Ratchet and
Right.
Clank was switching from world to world.
Exactly.
It was just more like, damn, look at the pretty graphics.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Look at the
that's
particles.
true.
Look at the fur. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
that's
always
the average
happening.
consumer
And
for
then
sure.
when it comes to consoles, dudes, girls, whoever plays it, aliens, they don't care about frame rate. They just want the game to look pretty. That's it.
Yeah, I do. I do agree with that too, and that's the average consumer. And I'm very egotistical in a sense, right? And I have to admit it. For me, I look at these things and say, how smooth is it running? Do I have to wait about load times, right? Because you're putting an SSD in there that's cute. Okay, there's PCIe's, there's other things that run twice as fast as that. Like, can you throw that in the console if you're going to charge us $500? But that's just me being cheap. right? I'm like, I'm on more paper.
It's true though, because like
So,
you
I
have
mean-
people over here talking about like, oh my god, if we SSD gonna be stronger than PCs. I'm like, you
Mm-mm.
really think that's gonna be
3
stronger?
years, 4
Like,
years.
give
Yeah.
it like 6 months to a year. They're already gonna have something strong, faster than that.
Right.
It's
Before
just the
it
way
even came out, you
technology
already
goes.
have something stronger than that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like you got something good now, but like
Uh,
technology advances so fast, consoles stay behind. That's what they do the reiterations, but
And it's
PCs
very
have
well
always.
right. And like comparing it to PC, like in my opinion, it's like no comparison because we have the options to kind of like switch and frank it and do our own things, right? We can choose. Like I focus on rendering times because I do animation. I'm not worried about like all this extra stuff. So like when it comes to the consoles, I can see it being an optimized system that people can enjoy. They don't have to worry about all that extra, internals
Right.
and things like
Mhm.
that. So
exactly. That's what it's for.
yeah, so I
Plug
don't
and
like.
play.
Yeah, I guess I'll change my terminology here and I call like the ray tracing like a gimmick. So excuse me for that. But then I just feel like it's not a strong enough selling point because they've been pushing ray tracing. Like count how many times they said ray tracing in their showcases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Almost on everyone.
That's the
Yeah.
selling
But the thing
point.
is like it looks nice, but when you compare it to ray tracing on a native platform, it looks way better there.
Yeah, I mean, in that, and it's like how long it's gonna be before a console get 8K. Like they already hit the 4K, right? So it's like where else they're gonna go with graphics? They just have to say ray tracing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
Well,
about
it-
8K, man, I hope
Yeah.
that whatever cloud Nvidia's using to give us like 8K, I hope that
yeah.
works out. Cause man,
Yeah,
I would
it's
see.
gonna be.
I would gonna see the difference with 8K and.
well,
Oh, Ruiz's
you
computer
will,
went off.
Mhm.
you will, if you go from 1080p to 4K, you will notice a
see the
difference.
difference.
Oh,
So
yeah.
imagine going times
Yeah,
4.
typical law of diminishing returns. Once we get to a
Yeah.
certain point, we won't be able to really notice it. But
After
right now,
after a certain point, you won't. I think 8K should be like after that, just stop going past that.
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean, like even at 4K at 120 frames per second, it looks unnatural. You're like, oh, that shit looks way too fucking real.
Mhm.
nah, I don't think no line me. That looks
Really?
great. What you talking about?
You look? No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying it doesn't look great, right?
No,
But
I
you're
look
like you're so.
smooth as hell.
Shut up, Josh.
Why the hell is Ruben frozen?
his computer.
I think his mic.
Yeah, yeah. His
Yeah.
computer
Doing
went
the Harlem
off.
Shake.
Or he got some talent, bro. He just like manifested like.
Living
No,
touch.
But
we
what
got
I'm
we
saying,
got a
like,
special slide prepared every time that Ray falls asleep. We
Oh
flash
yeah,
it in because
yeah, but it hasn't happened yet. So
Yeah, he's been well rested
yeah,
lately.
actually,
no,
that,
what I'm
actually,
saying-
it hasn't been
what-
happening in the last what 5 podcasts or so.
no, it hasn't happened.
But moving forward, right?
Uh-huh.
So I see this. What is this? The
So, well, what do you-
2DS?
The 3DS,
That's
the
a
3DS
So,
family.
okay, why is this in the news now?
So
Yeah, like-
yesterday,
'Cause it's
Nintendo
the shit.
discontinued production on the 3DS.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not indefinite
Finally.
though.
And cause Nintendo.
Allegedly.
Oh, who
Oh,
got
they
that?
discontinued it. So
Well, they said that they would stop production of it, but also Nintendo came back with a representative saying that it wasn't an indefinite decision.
Yes, it
So
is.
they're
No, it is.
what
They-
they're
Nintendo
saying.
stay
That's what they're
lying,
saying.
bro.
Nintendo lied.
Nintendo,
dude.
you
Bro,
swear,
bro,
but you also swear.
Every time Nintendo releases a new machine, they be like, "This is not replacing the past machine." Sure, it's not.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
But also, like, you
I'm
swear,
just
like,
like,
they're not.
it doesn't. I still have all of them. There is no replacement.
No, but because you swear like Nintendo like is going to pass up on the decision of not being able to keep selling 3DSs. I mean, they're still selling. It's not like they're not selling.
No, you're
So
right.
for
They
them,
are
it's just
selling,
like,
but
We're
it's
gonna
slowing down
we're gonna
slightly.
we're gonna stop. Right, we're gonna stop production for now, but we're gonna see because if we keep selling, then maybe we'll just put a little bit more out
But I
there
mean,
until
I
they
think-
stop.
see, I don't see them. Why invest in producing this, right? When you can instead, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is you're going to have some sort of like. See, here's the deal. If they keep producing the DSs, right, and that means that they have to produce games, cartridges, and all that, which is a very specific medium, both physically, like the hardware of it, it's very specific, right?
Right.
As well as the software. So if you're trying to kind of unify it and create a library of games, you essentially have to you have to say, okay, what does Nintendo want? Does it want to sell you the same game that you already have again? Right? I think that's what they're going for, because they're like, hey, you
Right.
know what? Like, dude, yesterday I had the weirdest urge to just play Mega Man Battle Network, and I'm like, damn it, I sold that game a long time ago. And I was just like, fuck. It was like, I want to play that shit right now. And I'm like, where is it? Where can I go? I'm not about to buy a DS. Like, I could, but I'd rather just get it on the Switch. Like, if I can, that's
Right.
awesome.
Or
that's-
you could do
but
other
that's a-
things that I
Or
won't
just
mention.
getting it,
Right, you can emulate and all that shit. But
We're gonna
Emulate
call
with
it
that.
that's the thing is that
We're gonna call it borrowing, okay?
We
We're gonna
don't,
call it
we don't condone what Andre says.
Look, Matt, you got a potato for a laptop. You can play it.
No, but what I'm saying, the Nintendo, the DS, they should get rid of it completely. Like,
Yeah,
not
they
producing no
should.
more. Because now we only focus on the Nintendo Switch.
Let me see how much is
right, but I get it though.
3DS
I get what
sales.
I get what you guys are saying, right? But the thing is, until Switch has that library of DS games, like they're not, a lot of people are still going back to the DS because of just the crazy amount of library that it has, and there are a lot of good games on it, right?
But
You
I
can't-
think what it comes down to is just the growth, right? Because it's like you're right. The 3DS is one of the like a really good console. It sold a lot, but I think they understand like at this point in time, the Switch is like such a mainstay that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
better to pour the
I'm not-
resources
I'm
into
not-
that because it's like
I'm not done.
yeah, because the games on the Switch are selling like crazy. Like they're selling like
Right.
almost 20 million each. That's crazy. Like that's some crazy
Right.
numbers for a console. And so I think they just see like, hey, the 3DS, it's been around for a long time. It's run its course. The growth is slowing down. The Switch growth is actually still expanding somehow. It's just pour all the resources into the Switch, make more
Yeah,
games
make
that
more,
sell
yeah.
25, 30 million, and just
Plus,
move on with our lives.
Nintendo is not profiting from people going back to their old libraries. I mean, like,
No.
because Nintendo themselves is not selling it. Like, you're buying it from collectors or from secondhand stores, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's not money for Nintendo. So they don't really care.
Right,
And,
but if they were smart, they would open up that library on the Switch. But it's
would.
because they haven't. I mean, look, we're still talking
They
about
will.
having a
Kinda tough,
library for N64 games.
No,
It's
Right?
kind of tough to
We're
get
still
3DS
talking
games on
about
the
that.
Switch, though.
No, exactly. You're right, Andres. Because the way it works is that if you give it a couple years, right, then I can release me being Nintendo. I can release an unremastered, copy.
Yep.
On the Switch. And you gotta buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Have you guys been paying attention
Right.
to all the trouble that they had behind 3DS? Right, like how many lawsuits because it was like borrowed technology from a third party company and things like that. That 3DS was problems. So, that was that was one of the biggest factors into them gun loading the Switch. So how I see it is like as a business, I understand what they're doing, but if you really want that money, you know what I mean? If you really have the intention to compete with like Sony, Xbox, and even so far as I dare say PC, your Nintendo service online, you would kind of give us more of an incentive of saying, you know what, I would sub to you guys. Because they're not seeing
Right.
physical money no more, but digital revenue is ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have 1 million people on your thing at once. You know what I mean? Like have an Instagram, have a Facebook, whatever platform you're gonna have. And if you sit here and say, you know what, Nintendo Online, we're gonna charge you, let's say $20 a year for one person, but it's gonna include these emulations or these ports or whatever. However they plan on going about it, people will fuck with it heavy. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say that, but they'll mess with it heavy.
The point is that Nintendo's slow when it comes to that, though. Like when it comes to like, building, because they are. I think it's part of the culture.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know if it's the culture, like, or the mentality in which the company was built upon, right? That just really holds them back at some point. Because you see PlayStation's, they're like, we're just gonna release all this right now, blah blah blah. Here you go, boom. It's not a big deal for them, but Nintendo seems like think twice and things
Think
again.
about it.
I feel like Nintendo has
Only had
like
to struggle to get to where they are now because they almost went bankrupt. Nintendo hasn't had to do that. I mean, the Wii U flopped, but that was like whatever. We'll move on.
They profited from the Wii U.
Yeah, they profited, but like, let's be real, they didn't go bankrupt. Sony
Like
did.
that,
So
Nintendo's been around since the 1800s, so they know how to throw hands, guys.
and Sony also saw that it was like they had to their main source of income was from the Western market, so that they pretty much just flat out just started catering to the Western market.
That
So,
is. Yeah, like you know what? I was just start getting to the conclusion that I don't know if they really, because you know the PS Vita is still pretty much big in Japan. You know what I mean? Any handhelds, you know what I mean, alongside the 3DS, you know, you guys should kind of keep that going. You know what I mean? Bring more functionality or whatever, you know, to it. There's a lot of things that they could be exploring and doing instead of like these remakes. We all know they don't hit as heavy the second or third time. So I mean, I'm just very curious with what I really like to see and like gaming news, console, etc. Is all the competition that came up this year. You know, you got these 3080s coming out that's like $699. You know what I mean? You have like Xbox pop off right off of that saying, you know, we have these consoles for, you know, $299, whatever, $399, $499. You know, PlayStation.
Oh, like the mini versions of the consoles and shit.
Yeah, like these kind of things.
Oh
So
my
all this
God,
competition in a way is kind of humbling other companies to say, you guys better bring your A game because you guys can really lose some customers.
mhm.
You know?
But it's also really hilarious is that even though like Nintendo themselves said they don't really compete anymore with the other two, they still kind of dictate what the other two are doing, right? Because they released this super cheap console to compete with the Switch, even though they were like, "I'm just trying to do our own thing."
Yep.
Kind of hilarious.
It's funny how that works, right? They'll be like, "Oh, Nintendo's not in our league," but they try to like copy or like do what Nintendo does in a sense.
They can't catch the Nintendo magic, man.
Sony tried the handheld thing, and man,
See, like-
they tried.
So like I see Nintendo as kind of like, all right, so Nintendo goes for the bottom dollar, right? While everybody else kind of like Xbox and PS2, they're serving you steak, right? But they're looking at McDonald's and like, fuck, dude, this guys have like 10 cars to drive through, and I have 2 customers inside. We're like, what the fuck, you know? Because Nintendo's is like, here, you know, $1, here you go, cheeseburger, fast, go next. Pokemon, sure, go.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing too. Because at first I was on that mindset, like, man, Nintendo is losing this, they're losing their edge. But when you really think about it, like, how many times have you had like fads that focused around an IP from Nintendo? Right? Like, you have people rushing out to get Switches because of The Legend of Zelda. You have people causing stampedes because of Pokemon Go. It is how many times do you see this
Literal
over and over
stampede.
again? Yeah. You see this over and over again from Nintendo IPs, and it's just like...
And when the card game came
know how
out
to
back in the
track it.
90s,
Yeah.
Pokemon was business in the 90s.
Exploiting, yeah.
Bro, like to backpack off of what you were saying, like even the Switches are still sold out until this day.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you
they
cannot
are.
go to a store and say, "Give me a Switch." You know what I mean? That's
You have Reggie on TV talking about Reggie's on news outlets talking about the Nintendo Switch. When's the last time you saw what's his name? Was Phil Spencer?
Yeah,
or,
Phil Spencer.
or Yoshida.
Yoshida,
Or-
never.
or- yeah, exactly. Like Nintendo,
Reggie went. The thing is, Nintendo, they kind of helped with the Wii. They kind of helped make gaming go mainstream.
Yeah.
So then Reggie was always the face of doing all that crazy stuff. Like he
Yeah.
brought us,
Yeah,
he brought us Bayonetta too. So
And by the way, I think Reggie's been doing a pretty good job as CEO of GameStop. Like their sales have been going up ever since like he started literally like slashing prices for shit. Like he has this really crazy, and this goes back to what Anders said. Like Anders said that there was a bundle for PS5 yesterday evening, right? And what happened was that their GameStop is running a sale over the weekend, right? And they have shit that is super expensive, probably about $2 to $4 over the retail price. But they have that, and then suddenly they go like, "Oh, we're having a huge sale! Boom, blowout, everything cut." So like yesterday, I was able to like spend $30 and get like fucking 5 or 6 figures for like nothing, and I was like, "Dude, this is amazing!" And I did see the PlayStation bundle, but when I clicked on it, it didn't let me do it. Anyways, I see this Switch games right here.
So
Monster
some-
Hunter Rise.
So some of these have some pretty interesting backstories too. So they have Hades. Yeah, you have Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Ori for the collection, which is pretty interesting.
that collection is looking sick.
Yeah, you have
That collection went out like that. It sold out like crazy.
No,
Ori
it's
is
still
pretty
up.
good because Microsoft hasn't been working with
Yeah.
Nintendo. Microsoft hasn't had a very personal relationship with Nintendo for the past year and a half to compete with Sony.
Can we get a Metroid Halo crossover? Yo, I tweeted Phil Spencer like 5 times. Like, can we get that, please, bro?
Team Metroid.
Chozo technology.
And then one of my favorite games, Fitness Boxing 2, get a sequel by guys. Told you it's good. And it is Guy 6, which is pretty interesting itself.
I
Yeah.
can't play this Guy 6. I can't.
No, like
I
over
stopped
like
at number
over the
4.
pandemic, it's really easy to gain weight, right? So like with
Oh,
these
yeah.
games, even like Ring Fitness, even though it looks ridiculous, right? It's able to give you just that much activity.
Man, that
to make
game
sure that you don't
burns,
go up
man.
and
No,
down.
that game that's not that much. It
No,
gives you
that
this
game,
much of
man.
activity.
Dude,
Wow.
Max,
I was
have
like,
you
you know,
tried it?
when Andres told me I feel bad, I'm like, yo, he full of shit. I did it. I was like, bro.
Max, have you tried it? Because me and Kian be killing it, bro. Like we were trying to
No,
beat
I
each
haven't
other's records.
tried
Like,
it.
he's as big as me now, man. Like 12 and almost 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I'm like, bro, I'm 6'4" and I'm 260. Like, chill. Like we be on that ring fit killing it, dude. Like,
So like we doing like every Saturday and Tuesday we have karate practice, right? And then we try to do karate here in my
Ooh.
small living room, right? So like sometimes you're doing the moves and everything, and that's pretty much what we do, right? Like, with Erica, and I tell him, hey Erica, like I'll show you some moves and we'll exercise, we'll work out, you'll work out all the anxiety from work, right? But then I'm thinking here, like, we have a Switch, and I know that the boxing game is good, but I've never tried it. And I know the Ring Fitness is good, but I've never tried those. And I'm like, maybe I'm not being fair to me here. Maybe I should just get those. Are they that good?
Look, I think the
Yeah.
Ring Fitness is worth it.
yeah.
Like you
The
burn
boxing
out
one is good,
completely,
too.
dude.
Yeah,
It's something fun
I
to
didn't
do.
know
It's
about
something fun to do with Erica, man. I say do that. Hell, just get Just Dance. Spend $20 and be goofy together. Like you're moving around and having fun
Yeah,
and laughing
pretty
at
much.
each other.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like
and actually, there is another one too. Is that fitness boxing is there is a attack mode, 2-player attack mode.
Really, Ray,
Yeah.
you want to buy it for me, dog?
oh, there's a joke there. Bro.
That's funny,
Focus on getting
man.
your financial aid.
Get on the fucking treadmill, bro.
It's boxing, dude. I know. how to
Yo,
box.
Ray gonna buy that. They're gonna play that once and forget about it.
I mean,
Yeah, you
Ray.
may already know
Yeah.
it's gonna be dusty.
Ray's
He'll
gonna
be
be the
like-
first person to sues Nintendo because Ring Fitness did not make him
The,
lose.
the last thing that made me move that was Nintendo brand. It was Mario Party. What? No, it wasn't Mario Party. It was Mario Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix or something like that.
No, lie.
Yeah.
No,
You miss
no,
DDR.
No,
I
no,
love
that's-
miss DDR, dude.
Yo, that's a lie. That's a lie. Wait, that's a lie. He played Wii Fit with me. He played boxing. The Wii Fit. Wii Fit edition.
Ah, man.
Hey, you
You only
do
played it
exercise,
once,
boy.
but they one that actually take serious and start dancing.
But see,
on
like
that.
the problem with Wii boxing is that, like you learn that you can just do this.
Yeah. You play tennis, you're like,
Look at you already exploit the game. You haven't even tried it, bro.
So it's a matter of commitment. Like, and I think
Yeah.
that's the thing about Ring Fitness. Like, you actually have to put in the work, right?
Yeah.
There's no.
you
Well,
can't
kind
cheat
of.
either. If you I try cheating,
Oh, I'll try
There's
this. Yeah.
there's things that you can do to cheat in that game.
No,
But
no,
like
don't tell him.
the
No, they can't cheat.
dragon is what kind of like motivates you, especially on hard mode. Like when you're doing that
Yeah.
story
Dragon.
campaign, and then fucking dragons are like you're doing like 1,000 fucking pull-ups, and the fucking
know what I'm
dragon
saying.
just looking at you like, come on, bro. You done yet? And the fucking health is just like, bro, I only took that much of health.
I
and the
know,
fucking health
right?
is like that
Oh.
much.
Or like you've been like fighting them for like 30-40 minutes and then you lose. Oh man. And you gotta do it again. I'm like, oh man.
It's like,
hurts.
when you guys play this,
Mhm.
how long are each game sessions?
However long you want to be.
Depends on
Yeah.
the,
No, no,
depends
but
on the
you even said it.
well, it depends on the mode. So if you're
Okay.
doing it on easy mode, you're gonna fly through it. But if you're doing it on hard mode, man, you're going like 40 to an hour just to beat one of the boxes.
Yeah, but like if this is a sports kind of thing, because
It's
that's
not a
that's what I
sport.
understand.
Replay mode.
Right.
It's not a sports. It's not a sports game.
No,
It's
no,
an-
I know. But
it-
I mean,
think of right.
it's a fitness game, right? So like, do you
Yes.
psychologically do you treat it like going to the gym, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this set, I'm gonna do this
Nope.
this for this amount of time and then stop, or
It-
do you
it- no,
treat it like a game? Like,
It does,
Yeah.
no, it does it for you. It does it for you. So it's like when you go from a
Right.
certain level to a certain level, it'll say, okay, this level you're gonna work out your legs. This level you're
Yeah.
gonna work out your arms. This level you're gonna work out your abs, and it'll split up like that. And so
Right.
once you get to the end, it'll do like this, like I guess burnout kind of thing, where it's just like, okay, cool, for like these 3 levels in this boss, you're gonna work out your legs, and so it's like, but you get to choose the exercises that you want to do, but
Yeah.
to make the game easier, you would have to choose the color that corresponds with the proper exercise, and the colors correspond with the legs, arms, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it actually tells you if you're doing it right or wrong.
Right. So if you don't do it right, then well, first of all, if you don't count it, won't count it, and then on top of that, it'll make the game actually a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Because you won't do as much damage.
Yeah, and if you cheat, then they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's too easy. Let me bump up the difficulty for you."
Yeah.
It'll extend the reps. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have like a lot of creative freedom in terms of how exactly you want to unquote work out with this game, end quote. I just say try it, have fun. You know what I mean? Like make it. Hey, I make Kean work for it, bro. Like I'm like, hey, if you can beat your old man, I got you on your next game. Oh, for real, Dad? Yeah, work out, Fat Boy. Let's go.
And you're gonna have fun. Like when you first get it, you're gonna start messing with the ring, and you're gonna think like, "Oh, this is nothing." As soon as you start exercising with it, you're gonna realize that resistance band is a lot harder than you think.
I said when I started, I was like, "This is like."
I told Ken,
squeeze it like over and over again.
I told Ken and Josh, I'm like, wait until you guys push that, and Ken's like, man, I'll break that shit. I'm like,
okay. Once I started doing more of these, I was like, yo, I started sweating, and it was intense.
Yo, my shoulders were hurting for like a week.
My shoulders were sore as hell.
I don't remember the first game I tried, but I know I have to grab the ring and I have to squeeze it over and over and get as many reps as possible in the time frame. And I kept trying to beat my time rate harder and harder, and I was like, I'm done, man.
Yeah.
The one where you have to squat and squeeze, man, that burns.
It's one player at a time, right?
Yeah.
But you could also another thing is that instead of doing the star mode, you could also do free mode. And it's just like you can do any of the workouts however you want and any repetition.
Yeah, and you can do the rhythm mode too if you just want to.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. See, like that's
yeah. Oh, so this next game is Disgaea 6. So this is actually
I have a bias. I'm being quiet. Okay, go ahead.
This was actually a PlayStation exclusive for the first 5 games, and then but then and Disgaea 5 came out. It actually. It didn't sell too well, so it almost bankrupted the company until they brought Disgaea 5 to the Switch, and it is sold like crazy. That's why
really?
It's a handheld. It's a handheld game. Is anybody a fan of Niz America or the Disgaea series at all here, other than me? Because I'm like fanboy here.
I've never played Disgaea.
I am. Yeah, I am.
I've never played it.
That game is ridiculous. I've never played an RPG where you can just do a bunch of silly shit and just have fun, you know. But it does feel like a handheld to me. It doesn't feel like something I'll sit down and play on the console.
Right. No, I mean, in the max level is like what, 9,999?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I know that I got the first game with the guy, and then I got him to level 899, and after that I stopped. Yeah, that's the way I gotta get to 9,999.
Yeah,
you're gonna pass up the story, and once you get to the item world, it's a done deal. It's just a freaking limbo.
Yeah, once you know with the story, there's like extra dungeons, and like the dungeons get ridiculous.
Oh yeah, all the puzzles and all this other stuff you got. I love that game.
Yeah, and so Disgaea 6 is actually a Switch exclusive. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not going to be on the PlayStation.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're not going to take it out for PC?
No PlayStation or PC is Switch exclusive because Disgaea 5 sold so well on Switch. So
developers are like handheld game. It's like I wouldn't play Fire Emblem on a console. Like when I played Three Houses, I just
no more Fire Emblem, dog. That thing is dead to me. Too many.
I mean, is it because of Smash Brothers though? Like, what's the reason? Like, I gotta know. I feel like it's too many Smash Brothers.
Bro, You see Fire Emblem, bro? They take out a game each.
He let all his characters die, and that's
what's friendship? All of you die.
Nah, bro.
Developers are like, you know how the beginning. Okay, so. Early on, when people were trying to switch into like the healthy lifestyle, like with Michelle Obama's new thingy, that kind of ruined lunchtime for everybody. So Disney pulled their sponsorship in McDonald's, right? So now Happy Meals couldn't get any toys, right? So then they shifted towards the healthy option, which was Subway, right? So they noticed that Subway was not selling their fucking toys, right? So like quietly they just make their way back to McDonald's. Like I think the same thing. It's just like, you know what? I'm gonna just stick right here with the Switch.
I didn't even know Subway sold like had
Yeah,
toys.
sold toys. Yeah, I
See,
didn't know.
that's the point.
What? Like that's new to me right now.
They never
like-
took advertisement for toys. To be honest, I never saw it.
Speaking of these toys, man, these Happy Meal toys back in the late '90s, early 2000s, I used to collect all those Happy Meal toys.
It was fire. Now they just
Yo,
like,
remember the Pokemon toys that they took out from McDonald's? Oh no, that's Burger King.
That was Burger King.
Yeah,
I used to. I
Burger, right.
legit had the whole 101 Dalmatian line, like from Happy Meal.
Nah.
That's how many
all of
Happy
them?
Meals I fucking ate, bro, when I was a kid. Bro.
Oh, but going back to the Switch though, like, can we like say like Capcom's been on a fucking like roll as of lately? Like they've been coming out with, and it's funny, like they're like, all right, we're almost done with Iceborne. Oh wait,
Oh yeah.
here's 2 Monster Hunter
Yeah,
fucking
Monster Hunter.
games that just
Well,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Oh,
because
wait,
they
hold
didn't
on.
get
Devil May Cry Special Edition. Hold on, Resident Evil. Like you're just like, dude, just stop.
Hey, bro.
they got humble after Resident Evil remake did so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also Monster Hunter is like I think what kickstarted that whole fucking thing. Just like everything, just like from Monster Hunter on, has been like going great for them so far. And
Yeah, when they did World,
Mega Man.
Bro, yeah, it's
well,
all
they did
about-
World, we'll put them up there. But also, then they brought back Devil May Cry and they retconned that DMC game that no one talks about.
Right.
And then they brought back Resident Evil back to what it used to be, just like modernized, and people loved it.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I guess if you give people what they want, they will buy our games.
Yeah, it's crazy how money works. Right?
Exactly. And now with Rise is like now they're going back to what people wanted who weren't maybe content with World because they were like, well, it's not the same Monster Hunter that I knew and loved, right? 'Cause everybody was like nostalgic for the portable editions. And now that they have it on Switch, now you're curtailing to World because it does have, themes of World where there's no loading screens also and transition. It's open world, you can traverse, but also has the qualities of the portability. So like now you're curtailing both worlds into one. And I think that's just a smart ass fucking decision on their part.
their success on the handhelds were like phenomenal. Right?
Yeah, like Nintendo carried Monster Hunter for a long time.
Oh yeah. So after what was it? Technically, it was like Try when they did the online features for Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when it started getting some real traction when you brought that online multiplayer. So I've been a fan of the series just as long as Pokemon. All right, and I'm just like, okay, so with World, to me, it felt like it was easy but very pretty and very
Right.
smooth. But I do miss Generations Ultimate, like where it's just like, okay, I might just get my butt beat by this pretty little pink dragon spitting bubbles, bro. Like, hey, you trying to do this right now, like before dinner, or you try to,
And it looks like Metsuzune is gonna come back too, and this one as well. So and that's really cool that like a lot of the weird and monsters that we didn't get in World is like coming back, like the spider monsters and like all those weird monsters that we didn't get in World, we're getting them here.
Those suits are fire too. Like specifically, what was it called? Like I know it started with an N, but you murder that spider, you look like a literal Gundam.
I know.
I was just like,
Yeah.
this is all tech, all me. Like, kid, come on.
Yeah, Nersilla.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm excited for Rise. Like, the acrobatics and stuff look smooth. I was just like, okay, I don't need the super special moves, but I'm excited. I will definitively be an irresponsible adult and drop my money down day one.
Did they say the release date for those Monster Hunter games?
Yeah, they did. So March 23rd, I think, for Rise, and then summer for Stories 2.
I say
Summer?
because there's a rumor that there's a more powerful Switch coming out. And usually when it's a Monster Hunter, that's usually when they come out because Monster Hunter's demanding.
Right.
Yeah.
So hey, look, no loading screens, maybe.
Yeah, man, I really hope that 4K Switch does come true.
That's not gonna happen.
Well,
that's the rumor. Ask Ken.
Oh man, it's a rumor, but that's not gonna happen.
Well, it was a rumor.
If Nintendo does that, they do a 4K Switch, I'm not betting no money, but I'm just saying they're not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it came out.
I
It
just
came
don't
out
see
on-
Nintendo catering to 4K like that.
Well, I mean, again, it's like it would be like on the Pro line, right? It would be like the more expensive version, and that's why they're trying to take out the 4K. But that's what Forbes says, right?
Like
You know,
I
Yeah,
see them
but they
more
don't
trying to
have to,
target
though.
1080 than 4K at all.
They don't have
Man,
to go
they-
4K though.
And you see
Yeah,
at least
right.
1440p,
They don't.
like at least like 1440p.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
14.
1440p.
Yeah, like
60
a
frames.
1440 would be amazing. Will be great on that screen. But 4K,
Yeah.
that's to me that's
But-
that's not very Nintendo like.
We
To
get
be honest.
720p handheld and full and 1080 via when we dock the Switch, right? Or am I wrong there?
It depends on the games. Like most
Yeah, it
games will
depends
be
on the game.
1080p on dock, but like third party games like
Seven-
Doom, it doesn't like it barely even hits 720.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
It
know.
depends on the
I know.
game.
1440
I know.
seems like a more realistic. But 4K, I mean, okay, I see y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1440.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Rise devs. Someone was asking the devs for Rise, what was going to be the resolution, and they said they were shooting for 1080, but they were also shooting for 30 frames and not 60. So that kind of tells you something about whether or not there will be a focus on resolution.
Yeah.
But I feel like those games aren't just yet focusing on frames yet, and focusing more on resolution.
It's easier to do 1080p 30 than it is 1080p 60.
Right. That's what I'm saying, is that they're focusing more on resolution than frames.
No.
Just give me some smooth gameplay.
I think Nintendo.
Yo, I
Nintendo's,
think they need to make it mandatory where all games need to be minimum 60 frames a second. Like,
Well, most of Nintendo's first party games are 60.
not
I
Zelda.
Yeah.
got a chunk of them.
yeah, I think
Zelda,
Nintendo should
Zelda
focus
is
on
a
the online
cinematic
play.
experience.
Yeah, Zelda's 30.
No, I think
Zelda's
Nintendo.
a cinematic experience, 22 frames a second.
No, but I think Nintendo should focus on their online playing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there's no hope for that.
Nah,
No,
it's
that,
a-
if they fix
So
that,
mad
they're
because
good.
like, I play
If they
Smash
fix
Bros.
that, they're
competitively, and that netcode online is dude butter. Okay.
it's so sad how you get a better netcode in their previous consoles than the Switch does.
Disrespectful.
No, that's what I'm
Like, that's
saying.
crazy.
If they fix that,
That fast Japanese
fix
broadband.
that, they're good to go.
But
okay?
yo,
That's
hey,
what I'm
all their
saying.
games run like trash online, except Mario Kart.
That's
Mario Kart is like the smoothest game ever for them. Bro.
Well, that's why. Damn.
I mean, they
Well,
updated the netcode a little bit, but it's not like godlike level.
I swear, like when I play, I fight too many Captain Falcon players, and like too many like Ocinas right now. Like they all cater off of speed. I'm like that slow heavy hitter. I swear they unplug their freaking they unplug.
If you wanna be the best online, just play Bowser.
It's terrible.
Just play Bowser. They ain't gonna react to you.
I seen my son do it, and he was winning, and I was like, "You went to Elite Smash with Bowser? Who rose you, bro? Like, why? Like, you're terrible."
So
reaction time is crazy.
So this is right here. You have this is the second time we speak about this. The RTX 3080, right? Why? is it
Before we
here?
get to the RTX, we skip Apple versus Epic.
That was intentional.
well, when it comes to Apple versus Epic, all that happened was that Apple started firing back at Epic, saying that their sales only account for 10%, and that I forgot what it was. What was the second thing it said?
See, that's why I skipped it. It sucks.
Well, this
Oh yeah, the only reason that they started this is because people are getting bored of Fortnite.
Of course.
You know what? Okay, I can talk about it now. So I do mobile deving, and I do dev. See, the problem with that is it's not so much as who's on what platform or whatever. Majority of the Fortnite fan base is past 30%, but you're not. Don't sit here and act like your sales matter that much. You got to support the devs when you're sitting here not paying us the way that you should. I shouldn't be struggling the way I'm struggling, bro. If I'm sitting here looking at these games, like, yeah, I worked on that, but I can't say I did, though.
Yeah, but Tim Sweeney out here making that bank.
Man, and it's so many. I think I have mixed feelings about it because, yeah, Epic isn't exactly innocent here either. Epic's did some shady shit, too. So I mean, like you're going after Google, you're going after Apple, you're playing the victim here. You done did the same shady stuff. I'm just sitting here like, however this turns out, it's gonna work out for the devs because we're about to riot. Like y'all because y'all been doing us dirty for a while, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Birdman hand rub, man. I'm just like, yeah, go ahead and settle that little cat fight y'all going on, man.
Yo, this just brings me back to the '90s when Sony and Nintendo used to go at it with each other. And then once Sony took the map, I don't know if you guys remember that one ad that Sony put out where it was like, "Well, Sony can, Nintendo, what was it? Can
So Sony
Nintendo
does,
don't?"
but Nintendo don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man. I want that beef to come back with these companies, man.
I mean, some of it's still here. We recently just had, because Sony Animations, right? We recently just had that script scrap with Disney about Spider-Man, and then now Disney has bought the Simpsons from Fox, so that's Universal, you know what I mean? So low key, high key, they kind of scrapping, but they're just not publicizing it right now. And I mean, the beef is there. You just have to have that inside look. And I've just seen these companies like fight over scraps, bro. When Disney got Simpsons, I'm like, it's over. Universal's about to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's happening, and it leaks into the game companies too, because some of their revenue is affected by the theme parks, mind you. So I mean, if Disney would have claimed Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like Sony would have been sweating bullets, because that'd be some Disney revenue going on into the gaming consoles now. Like Disney is really capitalizing and monopolizing, just like Apple. You know what I mean? So yikes! Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
That's why Universal was like, we're gonna take the properties that Disney probably is never going to acquire. Nintendo, come on over here.
Dude, if they bring Nintendo Land to Universal like they have back at East, it's gonna they already have land. Like
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
They have a whole Monster Hunter theme going over there, bro. Like that's me.
Really?
Yeah, they have cafes over there and everything. From
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the Monster Hunter cafes.
Yeah, Japan has all that, man. They even have a Code Geass cafe.
Dude, I encourage you to travel there when everything clears up and it's all safe. Just go.
Man, I was supposed to go there this year.
Yeah, we were actually planning.
I was headed for Korea because I just wanted to eat all the food. I've been like.
I want to go to the Gundam Museum.
Yeah. Nah, they have a Gundam. Oh, that's Japan. I'm sorry.
No, it's a Gundam. They have a legit full life-size Gundam.
Yeah,
I know, it's just Japan.
It's a mall, and it's just dedicated to Gundam. I'm like,
God,
what the
Yeah.
Can we go to the Metabot Museum?
Metabot Museum.
Metabot.
Even the Japanese is like, Meta who?
Yeah, yo, Metabots, bro. Shoot.
Calm down.
Ruben, they have a garden over there dedicated to Bulbasaur. Only Bulbasaur.
Yo, I swear,
Ruben.
You're gonna see Ruben. You're gonna see Ruben hugging plants. You'll be like, "Damn, I'm gonna live here all day, every day. Look at my baby plants. Yo, he's gonna be clipping it and shit."
I'll be a hobo there, though. I'll be.
Well, no, because that's the joke, Ruben. It's not actually a garden. It's just a graveyard, but it looks like a garden because of all the plants.
Oh snap!
Man, at least I would get high with Bulbasaur. There you go.
So what is the RTX 3080? What the hell is that? Like,
okay, so that's a graphic card.
Man, this is like
I know what it is, but I mean, why
like
is it
Christmas for us right now,
so
bro?
this week for this card, I don't know if you heard about it. What happened yesterday? But
no,
this card has been the cause of so many problems this week.
Oof.
And so yesterday it was supposed to go on sale. It was supposed to start selling, right? It's supposed to release. And what people speculate, it was pretty much sold out in like 30 seconds. And what people speculate is that bots did it. Like bots just came through and just cleaned out all the inventory.
Wow.
But what really pissed people off was that they're supposed to notify you when they get them in stock and start selling, right? People didn't get that email until like an hour after they sold out. And then on top of that, people who are refreshing the page, they actually went from notify me to sold out. So some people didn't even get to see the buy now page. And then for other people, they had it in their cart and then it got canceled before they even finished checking out.
That's wild.
And so people are like so pissed that they're actually going to the eBay where the scalpers are.
Oh yeah.
And they're bidding up the price on purpose. So you're seeing these cards go for like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000.
Damn.
Yeah, so like they're not really buying them. They're just trying to like get them to like stop selling.
They're actually using bots. So the first thing that the bots went and bought all these cards. Now they're using the bots to drive
To-
up all
to
these
bought all
prices
the
and
prices.
Right.
not being able to buy them.
Right, and so it got so
Exactly.
crazy, and people got so angry that Nvidia actually had to apologize and go back and say that they're going to check all the orders to make sure that bots don't get them. They're sorry for the short supply. They plan on getting some more next week. Yada yada yada. Oh, also, if you had the Micro Center out here in Tunstall, I was actually going to go to that one to get my 3080, but I couldn't because people started lining up for that card at like 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday.
Wow.
So they were there for like a whole day and a half just waiting for that
That's
card.
crazy.
Yeah. So by the time this card,
bro, like
so by the time this card came out, you already had like 400 people in line. It sold out immediately.
Dude, this is worse than the PS5.
Yo, these
Yeah.
cards are cracked, bro.
Yeah, they only had 85 at that Micro Center, 85 of cards, and obviously people didn't get them. But that's been happening all across the country. It's crazy.
that's
It's
a
crazy.
whole novella going on over here.
Yeah.
Like,
But see, the thing is that a lot of people in this case, they need it for work, right? They need it for like whatever the hell they're doing. So like it's more than just like, oh, I need this shit for gaming, right?
Yeah,
It's like, oh, I need it for
not
my
only
revenue.
that, but the way they did the launch. So because COVID hit and so many people lost their jobs, they couldn't really buy graphics cards like that, or they weren't willing to. They stopped making the 2080s, the 2080
so
Ti,
they forced to buy
2070.
this one.
So people who were planning to upgrade to the 2000 series, they couldn't get them because they were sold out, right? And so because they were sold out, they were like, "I'm just gonna go for the 3080," making all this huge demand, and then it's just making people piss people off even further. So it's crazy. They're trying to air freight in as much as possible, but it's slow. It's really expensive. And so, they say October is when they get like the main stock because that's when the ships are going to start arriving.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's someone who posted on their email that they got 48 of them.
Yeah, they got 48.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they bought it. Yeah.
yeah.
What a
Yeah,
what a
they bought
scumbag.
it. Yeah.
Definitely a scumbag.
I mean, I'd be a scumbag too if I had bots.
Yeah, this guy he posted up. He's like, yeah, I got 48 easy money on eBay. Like he was just posted like that's what he said. Yeah, easy money.
Or I would have just like review bomb all that.
How much were they going for originally? What's retail price for
So the
this?
retail price is $700. The eBay price is like $2,000. And then
Holy shit.
I think the 3080 is that's the entry model, isn't it? Like there's
No,
gonna
the
be
30
No,
37.
3080 is not.
the 37. Sorry,
Yeah.
They don't have
30,
a
and the
3060?
3090. No, and the 3090 is going to be the most expensive one. I think it's going to
Right.
be $1,400.
Yo, are they
Right?
just not making
Nah,
a 3060 this time around?
They are.
Yeah,
They
they're
are.
not.
It's gonna come later. It's gonna come later.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That one's later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so next year they plan on releasing the 3060 and the 3080 Ti, whatever it's called, but it's supposed to have double the VRAM.
I always get the 80, so I got to get that 3080.
Yeah.
I normally just get the TI because I play it safe. Rendering really matters for me, so as long as they can render, keep
Wait,
it still under control.
Yeah, that's the thing because the 3090 is the creator card. It's the card they're marketing towards streamers, renderers.
No.
But the thing about it is that the people that they didn't think about was the people who do machine learning, right? And neural network. They
good
use
point,
the
good
3090s. Yeah. So it's like they need the 3090s because they usually get the highest end Titan, but there's no Titan this time. It's just the
No.
3090.
The 30.
Yeah.
3090.
So you're gonna have a lot of professionals going for that card.
How much is the 3090 going for?
1,500.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's bad money, bro. Like,
And watch all the bots buy that shit again. And
yo, that's
you have to pay
Yeah.
$3,000 for that.
Yeah,
They
because
should just limit a purchase, like one a purchase like there's way, man.
there's ways around it though. Yeah.
Definitive ways
Yeah.
around. And they need to hire me, bro, because I'll be.
The thing is that the whole like scalping thing, it varies based on location too. Like somebody in the Midwest, right? Like this is not an issue back then, but here we have Silicon Valley, here we have San Francisco, here we have all these people who depend on this shit, right? So it's the same thing that happens with collectibles. Like right here in California, specifically here in Southern California, because we have Frankincense and a lot of people have that outlet to go and sell their product there. Whenever shit gets to the Targets, the Walmarts, the GameStops, or whatever, dude, they are cleaned out because everything just goes back to Frankincense shelves. Right? Like it's a business. It's how they make their money. So I can see how you can create just such chaos, especially here.
And California is one of the biggest states, one of the biggest tech states, and it's just I just got PTSD for freaking Ken Amiibos, man. I wish I would have got it, bro. Like it's a real problem with these scalpers because
Definitely.
if you need it, you can't really say no. And I'm one of those people who need one, but at the same time, like again, it all goes back to budget, right? Depending on your lifestyle, if you have a plural lifestyle, take care of brothers, nieces, or whatever, you just work with what you can work with. But that limits me in my workflow. I do contracts here and there. I get a lot of traction as far as like doing like commissions. And some people want short films done in 2D, some want them in 3D. Like if I can't get that out fast enough, it limits my workflow.
Right.
So it's a real thing.
No, I feel like people will take a loan just to buy a console, and I'm pretty sure they will do it.
Yeah, you can game. You can game.
A loan, yeah, they will take a loan just to buy, just to satisfy their needs.
You can't make me. Nope.
No,
but the
most of the people think like that.
The loans are treacherous. All right.
Yeah, I mean, those new 3080s are the upgraded ones. Those are appealing too. Like I said, it's like the VRAM and the CUDA cores of the RTX is amazing, or of the NVIDIA cards are amazing for artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
it's just what it is. Like it's
going to cloud. Like you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that.
Right. And so like if you're like have all these professionals who are like looking for it, so like, hey man, we need this for XYZ, and then like you have scalpers eating it, you might end up seeing a anti-scalper bot come out one day.
I just got a business idea. Imagine if I can generate anti-bots, anti-scalpers, bro.
Oh man, if you can make an anti-scalper bot, oh man,
hire a team behind
it. Yeah, that'll kill,
bruh.
Yo, cut this little section out so they don't steal your idea.
All right. So on that note, let's move on to the last bit of news as far as gaming this week, and then we'll move on to the activity that we have planned out so that we can close. And so I see Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War back on
CW.
All these names.
These names are getting more and more complicated. They used to be.
They only calling it Black. They only put Black Ops on it because it's the Black Ops name.
Right.
That's it. Like that's really it. And because they took over development, so they actually pushed Cold War by a year because Raven just wasn't doing their thing.
Yeah.
So
the alpha thing came out there.
Yeah, so everyone saw pretty much the trailer that they showed out on the PlayStation. I mean, it looked pretty sick though. I'm not gonna lie. That scene with the airplane scene? That was straight out of Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I was like, is Dominic Toretto in this game?
and tell me why a fucking RC car is faster than a fucking airplane.
Anybody get like maybe it's just me, but I started thinking about Toy Story when I saw that little RC thing.
But the RC is not a new thing. They had that in World's End.
They had that one.
Yeah, and it even came as an actual RC car that you can get a pre-order.
My brother has that.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about shooters though? Like I'm a little burned out, but I don't want to see what you guys think about it.
I'm biased because I just really like shooters.
Okay.
I like shooters. I think most of the games I play are shooters. I'm kind of like how should I say it?
Your family?
No. I'm not too glad that I'm into shooters like that because I do like other games. But when I just want to play a game real quick and just play a match, it'll be a freaking shooter. So I'll play like Gears or Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Pick up and play.
Yeah, just pick up and play. Like I play Gears. I play Gears like left to fucking right. I just got into Rogue Company, so it's like shooters are just easy to get into.
Except Valorant. But
except Valorant.
Yeah. So I like shooters. I'm just disappointed with where they are now. Because like when I was younger, I used to play like guns and all these crazy shooters where you have like Crossfire. I don't know if you guys ever played Crossfire. That's the one where I tell you like you go invisible and you can stab people.
Oh, okay. I played Rainbow Six. That was my thing.
And the one that you a scumbag in?
Yeah, so those games were great. Those games were great. But like lately it's just been like really safe games where it's just like here's a gun, here's a camera in first person, here's a guy running around shooting.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me add on to that. Here's a
Yeah.
season pass.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you
Mhm.
4
Nah, I'm
level
PS4
up,
now when it
and
comes
here's
to
a
like
season
that.
pass.
Like that, I think that's why I like playing Gears so much because it's vastly different than most shooters are. I mean, yeah, you're doing the same thing, you're just shotgunning everybody around, but that's fun as hell for me.
yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like it's harder than like Black Ops ever could be.
No, it's definitely harder. Like the skill cap between Call of Duty and Gears is completely like
Yeah,
out the roof.
these games are such a blur to me. Like you can even ask Josh. Like literally, I think was it 2 years ago? I literally didn't even know, or I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that you could jump in Call of Duty.
You are liar.
Remember when I was saying, yo, could you jump in Call of Duty? They just add
You've
that.
never jump shot at people in Modern Warfare?
That's how much of a blur it is.
That's
dude.
crazy.
I was like, you could jump? Like what?
Like I'm not gonna lie though, when Fortnite came out and became the biggest game on the planet, that like kind of made shooters fresh. But then everyone just wanted to do battle royales, so then we just stale and all that stuff.
I mean,
Warzone is cool, but at the end of the day, it's Call of Duty, so you kind of get tired of the same formula over and over again.
Look,
So like, I was actually looking forward to Halo Infinite, but
look, what Fortnite did to us is brought a new way to play the game, like a shooting game.
It's like a new like game mode.
and
because that game
Anyway.
takes hella fucking skill. Like I
No,
don't care
but-
what anyone says, that game takes so much skill.
No, but
I won't
like you
deny
said,
that, but that company, man, is treacherous, bro. Like
Yeah,
they
Epic.
Yeah,
I know the history behind Epic, bro.
no, but the things like he came out with a new strategy to play shooting game. You get me? You have to create walls so you can have the high ground in any point of the game. You
Like,
you have
they
to
were-
be strategic.
They were brilliant because they're like, okay, we're gonna combine the two things that sell the most: Minecraft and Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Put it together,
Had a
you got a
baby.
good game.
yeah, for-
Got a good game, yeah. Like
And then
We're
Call of Duty, bro, it's the same old thing, bro.
Those
I
in-app
mean,
purchases
Modern
be getting me,
Warfare,
though.
even though it's the
Same
same,
old
Modern
thing.
Warfare is pretty fun. When you're playing with people, though, if you play by yourself,
Yes.
Call of Duty is just boring. But when you
Mhm.
play with
Yeah,
other
bro.
people, it's fun as hell. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
fun.
but you have to get rid of the other people. Yeah, it's
I
like
remember
you
that.
get along.
Okay. So when we had like the good thing about Call of Duty is it's like, I don't know, the multiplayer when you're playing with your friends, dude, you can create some dope ass memories
Mhm.
for fucking sure. Like I remember when Call of Duty, what was it, Ray? The one that was the one that had the gun game, the premiere with that.
It was Black Ops.
Was it
Black Ops or
Ops?
World at
Yeah,
War.
Black
One of the
Ops.
two.
So I remember
Probably
that
World at War.
Ray and I used to play gun game all the time. And the thing is that we
Yeah.
were so good at that shit that usually it was just him and I, at
Yeah,
the end.
yeah.
Yeah, probably.
The thing is that and we would just like cheese it by never killing one another, right? And then everybody in the lobby was just like, fuck, kill each other. But we never did it. We were actually just,
Yeah.
like, hey Ray, like let's just run around.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
y'all the reason why they banned partying up in gun games.
Yeah.
Nice. Just nice.
Yeah. We'll be going like
Yeah,
this,
just
like
knife
with a
only. Yeah, just knife only.
Going around, it was hilarious. Like, and I also like in Modern Warfare 3, I think there was one moment, man, where like it's a city in France, and there's a huge corridor, and then like we're having this fucking all out war, and I call a UAV and it drops the Goliath armor, right? The riot armor, and then the other team on the
Juggernaut?
other side, huh? The
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, that's what it's called, yeah. So like the other team does the same thing. So in that corridor, we meet Juggernaut to Juggernaut, like, and then behind there's like fucking 4 soldiers, just like.
that sounds epic, yo.
Yeah, that's pretty
What you're
cool.
doing, but like if you at that moment you're just like, oh fuck, I'm taking fire, but like I'm protecting everybody behind me, and the other person's doing the
Yeah.
same thing, dude. Like, and you're like, fuck, this is such a cool experience.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like Pokemon, it's cool, but it never gives you that level of gamer experience. It's like that immersion sometimes fails in some.
Oh
of these
yeah,
games.
I mean,
man.
yeah,
Black
that's what
Ops
Call of
and
Duty
Modern
does
Warfare
well.
3. Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3, man. If those videos are still up, man, I would.
Oh, I remember those. Oh my god!
Yo, man,
I
me and my
remember.
friends
Let me
were
tell you
terrible.
something. Before he tells you, I ran into this video where they were spawn camping these dudes in Modern Warfare 3, and then he was telling me I used to do that too, and then he showed me a video. I was like, "Oh, you that scumbag?"
Yo,
You
we
still have
found
that video?
to probably take it now. We found out every spawn point in that map, cut all of them off except one, and literally sat there. We were
Yeah.
getting Moab after Moab after Moab. Like we dropped, I think, like what 12 Moabs in that game. It was so crazy. Like, and then we also did it in was it
Black
think
Ops.
Havana and Black Ops? Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut off all spawn
man.
points until they were like little under that little like archway in the door. You know what happens when you spawn sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah.
We cut off all of them. They spawned in that archway, and we just lit them up with kill streaks. At
Yo,
the end, we had like 400,
Yo,
500 kills.
Havana was probably one of the most unbalanced maps in that
Yeah.
fucking game, yo.
It
Yeah,
was unbalanced.
Havana
If you
got to be
wanna
that
know-
easy nook though all the time.
Yeah, if you want to know why they changed the spawn system, it's probably those videos.
No, and in the Modern Warfare 3, you had an insult to injury where the developer was saying, no, we have the best spawn system now, and then you put the clip after you spawn killing them and shit, and then people
yeah.
were leaving, and then the people that were joining the game were spawning on that
Right,
same
spawn on top
spot.
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, man. Spawning
But
is
see,
so hard to master in these games, though, because people are just all over the place. How do you even perfect that? You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's why Modern Warfare feels so jank.
But that's why these games keep coming out, right? Because it's fun. There's a new generation that's getting like that type of immersion. And
Yeah.
honestly, like if
If you guys don't know, like right now they have the alpha, right now is out for
Yeah, the alpha came out today.
okay.
Yeah.
So
PlayStation owners.
Yeah, PlayStation 4
Sadly.
owners only. And it's about 25 G's or something like that.
It's about 20 gigs.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But it's PlayStation. It's gonna take forever to download, so good luck.
Yeah, at the beginning, yes, in the first
Not
test.
Don't worry about it.
No, but yeah. Anybody played it? No,
No.
I did. I'm
No.
the only one played it.
Wait, did you download it?
Yeah.
Oh, you
yeah.
played it? Oh,
Yeah, I was streaming it earlier.
Nah, I didn't know. What the hell?
Damn.
What
Nah,
is it?
I played it. It's cool. I mean, it's way slower than Modern Warfare. So if you like Modern Warfare speed,
No,
man,
no.
you gotta be upset for this game. This game is slow. Like it's
Really
a
slow?
lot slower. Yeah, there isn't like a lot of kill streaks in the air because it's score streaks. If you die, you still keep the same score. The only thing you gotta get more points to get the score streaks. So it's 800 points just to get a UAV.
holy shit,
Yeah,
like
it's a lot.
14 kills,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
60
But
kills.
they do have modifiers for per kill. So if you go on streaks, you get way more points. So you get closer to the streaks. But it is a lot. Like I was playing, I was dominating one whole game, and then towards the end of the game is when I got like the biggest kill streak. There weren't like that many kill streaks floating around. This is
okay.
more of a gun on gun type of game.
Yeah.
that's
Tell
crazy.
Which is
tell
pretty
them
cool,
about,
though.
Tell them about the Uzi.
All right, so the best
that
gun
was
in the game is the Uzi. Like
Okay.
that is the best gun in the game. If you want to play, you want to go try hard, just use the Uzi. Yo, I was freaking killing people from like
Left and right.
20 meters as if it
With
was an
the
assault
Uzi?
rifle with a silencer, and that shit was not moving. Like it's a Uzi.
I don't recall you the Uzi.
Yeah, the Uzi is
So-
not supposed to have that much good handling.
So
It's
you would
fucking-
say
Yeah.
it's almost like advanced warfare? Is it like
Uh-huh.
that game?
No,
No.
Advanced Warfare is pretty fast.
And the assault rifles are okay in this game. I think the best one is probably so far the M16. The AK is pretty bad. The Uzi is probably the best gun in the game. The MP5 is pretty good too. Sniping is not that crazy. Shotguns are secondary. They're okay. Stick to spaz is not that great.
Well,
But everyone, if you go into the lobby, everyone's using the Uzi. It's the best
See,
gun in the game.
yes.
It's all about that Modern Warfare feel where all the guns were fucking OP. Like
Yeah.
the shotguns were fucking OP. Every fucking rifle was good. Like it was like it's so
Like I
fucking-
think they messed up by having you be able to use 3 extra attachments using that wild card. So
Yeah.
now you can make your gun even more OP. So it's like that's I don't think that's gonna fly well, but they might have to nerf a lot of shit. But yeah, Uzi. We even with a silencer, like I would just go pop pop pop, he's dead.
nice.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean it's fun. I like the new. It's not ground war, but it's pretty much ground war with just less people. It's like you're on a battleship and you can like swim and ride these boats and
How many
have
people
turrets and
play at the
stuff.
same time? How many
About
people play at the same
4.
time?
That game was really fun. Like that's probably a really fun game mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right.
If
So what's next?
that's concludes with the gaming section. I mean, unless you get there's other news.
No.
I mean, you can
But-
play Warzone on it still, and then collect stuff and shit like that. But Warzone is pretty much going to be like their battle royale from here on out.
It is the battle royale.
I mean, it
Yeah,
should be
beautiful.
for the next like God knows how long, many years. So, yeah.
Well,
But Cold War, I mean, personally, I don't think it's better than Modern Warfare. Personally,
No.
Let's move
we'll
on.
see.
yeah.
So as far as movies, right? Couple of news. Nothing too crazy this time around. Let me see. This is here. Who put this here?
Yay.
What is this?
What Bond? Who talking about James Bond out here?
What?
What? Where are you, James Bond?
Superman.
Just Henry Cavill.
Oh, cause I see James Bond right here.
There is a James Bond slide, but that's the next one.
Ah,
Wait a
that's
minute.
that's before the Henry
Is that-
Cavill one.
Really? Is that? Am I showing you a latent version of it?
Whatever. But
Let me see.
yeah.
Let me X it out. There you go. Everybody's here. Yeah. Let's see. Share. Oh, fuck share. No, present. There you go. Yeah, so James Bond was in the news this time around because date was pushed back, and no one really cared, right?
like Mulan.
Yeah, nobody really cared that, but it's there, and then now it's the date is November, and they re-released the trailers. Why can't I share for shit?
Are they gonna put it on streams or are they gonna be in theaters?
It's gonna be only in theaters.
Theaters.
No,
yeah.
it's not gonna happen because
It's
even
not
one of them got pushed back from November. Actually, now it's coming
Yeah,
out December. Yeah.
But if Tenet can, why not Bond, right?
Nah,
I
they're
mean,
gonna put it on Hulu. What?
But see, like for me, like the whole idea of putting movies in theaters is kind of like it's kind of dumb because like honestly, they stay in theater for like what 2 weeks?
Nah,
I
too
don't
much.
know.
Months. A month.
Yeah. And then like but as soon as they're in the movie theater, now within like a few weeks, it's back to, you know, it's available everywhere. So for
Well,
me,
it's available everywhere after 3 months of being released in theaters.
okay,
Nah, not 2 weeks. It's about 3 months.
the movie looks great. I feel like the movie looks fucking cool.
Yeah, James Bond.
totally
Those
forgot.
movies, they're usually good. You know, there hasn't been a bad one. I mean, what was it? Was it Casino Royale? No, that one was good.
Which one?
There was one that wasn't that great. And
Quantum Solace?
yeah, I think it was that one. I know Casino Royale was amazing.
That was pretty decent.
Quantum Solace probably that's the one that most people don't really care
Yeah.
about.
But
Right.
man, it's 007.
Yep, and then you have Henry Cavill here, and
The
what is
Witcher.
it?
And Henry Cavill and the Witcher man
So yeah,
from Krypton. You haven't heard the news?
no,
No, I
what's
don't know.
going on?
Yo, he signed a 3-movie deal. To
For
play
Superman?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. They did, yeah, just yesterday. He didn't do it yesterday, but they made the news yesterday. So he signed a
Finally.
3-movie deal. Thank God.
He's literally been asking for it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
he's
like,
been since Man of Steel 1. He's like, can we do a 2? DC's like, nah, fam. 2 years later, can we do a 2? Nah, fam. Justice League wasn't that great. Can we do a 2? Supergirl instead.
we got Supergirl. Yeah, damn.
But, yeah, I'm glad because honestly, I don't want a new Superman. Like Henry Cavill is Superman.
I think that aspect of Superman goes on him.
And I'm also glad Ben Affleck is coming back to Flash, and I think he signed a new deal too. So I'm like, that's cool. Hopefully they get things back on track, and DC movies can be good.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that. Did you guys hear that She-Hulk got cast?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who got casted though.
It was
who's playing
Tatiana. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Maslany, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tatiana, what?
Maslany. I think her last name. I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce.
It's weird because there was another female actress who was gonna play She-Hulk, and She's
It's
the
possible she could be
main.
the buff one.
She's the main actress from Shameless, the show. And
Yeah.
I guess they replaced her for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Her name is Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
Oh,
also
she's
had the
right.
casting for Kang.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, King the Conqueror.
Which we were talking a little bit over the week, right? And then there's just a wild speculation as far as where it's gonna go. Again, there's a lot of things you can say about it, and it's gonna be all right. The other thing that what was also released this time around was the Mandalorian, right? The trailer was released.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that.
Didn't that just win an Emmy?
Really?
I think the Mandalorian just won an Emmy.
Who's keeping track of that though? Like, is it those awards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Ray?
Yeah, they just mailed them. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're
People-
like the government
Pe-
checks.
people got it in their
just
mouth.
happen,
Like,
you know?
I want an Emmy. I was like, what?
Yeah, just like Amazon's gonna be delivering your Emmy anytime now.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you hear that.
And,
Yeah.
and the people who didn't win it just bought it. I thought, fuck it.
People have to pre-order that Amy real quick. Like, yeah.
So what was all the news? That's it?
I think that was it. I mean,
Oh
you got
my
Kang the
God.
Conqueror coming into the MCU. We kind of knew that, but there's a lot of speculation. Doctor Doom, Galactus. There's a lot of places where this can go. I guess the Superman thing. Honestly, I think is the biggest thing, which really kind of pisses me off. That you had this DC fandom shit, which they did last weekend, and they didn't talk a single bit about this deal, right?
Nah, that would have been huge there.
Yeah, they talked about like really random stuff. Like, I think the biggest thing that came out of it was Young Justice. There's a new season coming up, big whoop, right? I don't know. I was really
Hey man,
disappointed.
people love Young Justice.
Yeah, I know they do. They do like it.
Yeah.
Especially teenage girls.
But you know what I think is gonna happen? I think with the Batfleck, I
Mhm.
think he's gonna be in Flashpoint. But I think what they're gonna do in Flashpoint is that after that they're gonna make this
Robert
dude.
Pattinson?
They're gonna make it's gonna be like the whole multiverse thing, time, whatever. Bob, and then his Batman's gonna be like the main Batman after that. I think that's what's gonna happen for that universe, at least.
Wait, but which Flashpoint's gonna be on?
Wait, is Jeff Mike okay?
I don't know. I sent him a message to see like if he's all right because I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, you mean me? Like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry about that. No, I'm just listening. Sorry. about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought we lost you there because like usually we have at least one really big technical issue.
Right.
Every podcast. All right, so today we have about 40 minutes right now until this is over. We're gonna go ahead and continue the game that we started last time. So last time we talked about things that are overrated.
Overrated, yeah.
And the whole thing was overrated, underrated. So this time around, we're going to be talking about underrated. Again, everybody submitted some things that they think are overrated. Sorry,
Oh, damn, I could have submitted stuff. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you had 2 weeks. You failed.
Yeah, he wasn't here last time, right?
No, he was. He was.
Well,
Like,
did
Yeah, he was there, but he didn't do it.
requirements.
Overrated.
Oh,
Everyone had a syllabus in this class, except for Jeff. Yeah. So today, underrated. Like, first thing that we're going to talk about, I think, right, are these gender reveal parties underrated?
who said this? Who said this?
Those are overrated.
Bro, they just caused a freaking fire. For the
This
last
is
2
either
weeks.
this is
Even-
either Ray or Max.
Why would it be me? Why would it be
I
me?
think they're overrated, bro. Like, why are you even
Over-
having them? Like
who
Yeah.
cares? Like, love your baby, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you have to put the whole city on fire.
baby
like,
showers, cool. But a gender reveal party, like, really?
Come on, dude.
I think that's just an excuse. I think Latinos invented that because Latinos,
Dude.
yo,
I don't think it was
Latinos
Hispanics.
will make Latinos will make any excuse to throw a fucking party.
You know
baby's
what?
12 months
Okay,
old.
I
Oh my God,
understand.
party time.
I understand your. I think it's a white boy thing, honestly. Like, if we go in there, But I'm just saying, like,
I
I don't
think
know, like,
I do think it started that way, but then it became this thing where everyone, because the social media became big, obviously,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think it's
yeah.
more.
now
I
it's
think it's more of the
mainstream.
hipsters that started doing some shit like that.
No,
Look,
but
if you
he
wanna
has
put
a
it,
point though. Like for the gram, he has a very very good point, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves being online. Right, like I've made it my goal to make sure I don't wake up and grab my phone and search the internet. Right, even though my following, like my revenue depends on my following. Right, it's like okay, like I'm not about to have another baby and put a gender reveal party. I'm not about to like. It's just okay. Bigger question, guys. I'm the new guy. I'm messing with y'all right now. Before we go, the question is privacy. What's privacy to you? What does it mean? Like, do you have to put everything online? Because this is ultimately what led and played a factor into these gender reveal parties. We left it alone for a while, but then something catastrophic had to happen for us to say, you know, it's kind of ridiculous, right? So, where's your sense of privacy? You know, when it comes to that. To
Yeah.
those who aren't married yet, or in like monogamous relationships, like if a
Yeah.
girl was to come to you and say, "I put everything on social media," you have to be okay with that. And she is offended by your privacy not to put everything on social media, would that be a deal breaker or not?
Bro, it
Yes.
depends though. If
Yeah.
she says I have an OnlyFans, I was like, oh shit.
I used to be that guy that I used to snap everything, and then after a while, I was like, "Yeah, I ain't doing it anymore."
We have a
Yeah.
we have a problem keeping Kenneth in the chat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if we have a
Bro,
problem,
I'm like a ghost to these people. I don't touch them, bro.
so we're like every now and then I'm looking at my toy Instagram, right, which is the one that I'm most active on, right, because it's like another persona, so to speak. I just focus on the hobby. It's like I'm looking at the people who are following me. I'm like, who the hell is this? Like, oh shit, that's Kenneth. It's like, who the
Yeah, yeah.
That's true, yeah. Kenneth has an account that has no post, no picture, nothing.
Oh,
That's,
I mean, at the
thank
end,
God he posted a picture of his profile, and that's it.
oh.
No, and I was thinking that a lot of people now, it's just like I don't know what was the show that has this parody where the moment that you stop being in social media, it's like you cease to exist, right? So a lot of people, what like we see this like controversies, like oh yeah, this celebrity right did something wrong, got canceled, and suddenly like oh they deleted the social media, it doesn't exist anymore to the world.
I know, right?
Right.
Fuck, like no, that person's still out there, and everything. It's just like we have placed so much emphasis, all right, on who you are on an online platform that it's getting fucking ridiculous. Like
I mean,
personally, I
it's
don't
not.
put that much shit in it.
It's not only that, but it's like you have a world that you craft at your fingertips. You choose who's going to be in your world. You could take them out by blocking them. You could put them in by following them. And you
Yeah.
choose what you follow, when you follow it, how you want to respond to it, how you want to interact with it at any time of the day. Like that's a lot of power to give to people. And so,
Yeah,
of course, it'd be addicting. Like it's addicting to most people for that reason. And I just think that people get sucked into it, and like some people get out, some people don't. Some people can know how to moderate it, some people don't.
yeah.
Wait, so who?
yeah.
It's
Oh,
And
this is just it's an ironic piece. And like I put it up there, but the reason
Oh
it's
yeah.
supposed to get people to talk. That's all.
Okay.
yeah,
It's
like
obviously overrated, but like
yes, it's definitely it's definitively overrated. I honestly prefer to keep like I don't know, privacy to me is still a big deal. Like if
definitely.
you follow me on my Jeffers family, man, I'm just like goofing around my son and picking on him, honestly. We just be goofing around. Like I hardly ever post unless my son's doing something. That I usually have that for my family and my friends, right? Because I'm the only one in California, the rest of my family is scattered. Other than that, like I have an animation like channel and I just pretty much post a lot of controversy and stir up a lot of trouble and I just do that just to have like I don't really put anything personal online,
yeah.
right? And it's like I don't see the significance in it, like celebrity or not. Like I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe
I
because
mean,
my
I think
go
it's
ahead.
because new generation, like
Well, it's
everything has.
like
But we grew up in that generation, right? Like
right,
anyone in the
right,
90s, right? Like, because I'm
right.
30, right? So anyone in the 90s, you're right in smack in between where, traditional's there and now we're kind of modernizing getting into technology. So you kind of pick and choose, right? I'm this weird hybrid where I do both. Like, my money. I use my technology as the tool to make revenue, and that's it. I don't need it, right? Unless I can turn that switch on. Okay, I'll put in my 8 hours, and 8 hours is gone.
I
I'm back to
think
my phone, right?
I think people do it because of FOMO.
FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out. Yeah.
hmm
Mm.
a lot of it has to do with that because I know some people who like if they get like if no one's talking to them on IG or on social media or they get blocked or they don't post something that's relevant, they'll feel like, oh, I'm not a part of the conversation. I'm not a part of like society and shit. I'm like,
I'm out
it's
of
not that
Right.
serious, girl.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, right? It's like you have like social media has essentially just accelerated a lot of the negative parts of human behavior a lot of time. So it's like you have those people who seek attention. You have those people who have to keep up with the Joneses. You have those
Mhm.
people who like want to show off. Like everyone is just like all those social media be like, look what I have, look what I could do. Like, but they never show like the failure. Like there was like, oh, I had to sacrifice this much to get it. It's always, yo, look at this. I have this new Tesla, even though Tesla isn't even that great of a car. I have this new, little thing, right? I just went to McDonald's and got like a McRib. Look at it.
Yeah. And also, I
Yeah.
feel that the other problem is that social media really limits what you're exposed to, right? Like it's designed to literally cater what you see.
Literal
And
algorithms. Yes.
yeah, and the thing is that like, but they don't realize what people, and I think we perceive it because like Jeffer says, like we're hybrids, right? Like we realize like that is there, but that's not reality. The new generation is just like, oh, dude, this is my world. This is awesome. This is what I like right now. So the problem is that they are not exposed to new things. They are not exposed to new ideas. They're only exposed to the things that the algorithm dictates, and that is going to essentially slow down, psychological development in a person.
Absolutely. We
You're
go
gonna
back to being linear minded.
Yep, exactly. So you're
That's
like,
what they want
dude,
though.
I mean, like I like Wolverine. Sure, I like Wolverine, but that doesn't mean that all I want to see around is fucking Wolverine all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, dude, I enjoy science. I enjoy politics to a certain degree. I enjoy this engineering, all that. Like you as a person, your brain has so much capacity, and I feel that social media just kind of puts you in a box. And
Yeah, they just limited your potential.
Yeah, it reaffirms your beliefs.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
here's the thing, like, we all love those people who can at least understand or think similar to us, but imagine the benefits of people who think different. I
Right.
think having those oppositions are just as important towards character because I shouldn't be as proud when we had blackouts recently, right? And my son take out some candles and be like, okay, we got to put ice, with the gallon of milk, and we got to do all of that. I'm just like, who raised you? Oh my god, but I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we should be doing that, right? There's people out there who's like losing it when that electricity go out. We don't. It's a luxury. We don't need it. I mean, gas still works, right? Like we can get by, but it's really scary because when it comes to these algorithms, living a life by algorithms that I have personally designed to make my life easier is still scary. A Tesla is literally an algorithm on 4 wheels with hard plastic to me.
Yeah.
And
Essentially.
you're not your data's not even private. Tesla deals all over the world. Everything that you do, where you drive,
Right.
how fast, how soon, what times, everybody can see it. Like I don't want to be followed around like a celebrity without that much celebrity money. You feel me? Like pay me. So
Yeah,
it's
but we live in a society that we want luxury things. That's what we want. We want the next new thing. That's what we want. That's what people. That's what the new generation are thinking. You know what? I want to buy the new thing. I want to be part of society. And what is part of society? Being social media all the time.
I
Oh,
understand that. Yeah.
Or having that, or having the new console in this kind of play. Like, oh, you know what? I don't want to get a PlayStation 3, or
Yeah,
I want to get the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's the thing, again, it's not just exclusive to plural lifestyles, it's just like even to oneself. Wants versus needs. We're going wants first, needs later. And
Right.
you understand you don't need that much.
Oh,
A lot of us come from really bad backgrounds in our own right, and we didn't have half of the shit that we have now. So it's like it's for me continuing that lifestyle and like understanding that I'm very minimalistic. right? And I'm just like, I don't need it. And it's not just about saving money. I'm just like, look, if some shit goes down, at least I have savings, right? But at the same time, like that PS5, that Xbox, that new graphics card, like I can convince myself that I need it. That if I click on it once, the algorithm's going to say, "Hey, you want to buy it." Right, like social media. Hey, check out my new PS5. I pre-ordered it. I'm like, that's fun. To me, it's fun. Floss. Have fun. You
Yeah.
should be flossing it, but it
Right.
shouldn't be like your life shouldn't
Yeah.
be dependent on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ultimate joke is the fact that they are marketing your social media presence as being the most important need, right?
Yeah.
To the point that I see homeless people on the street who, they forego everything, but they still have a phone. They still have like social media. They're still like doing the things. And I'm, dude, like priority wise, it's different. Like it's so odd. Like it's, to me, it's difficult to understand. And as a parent, there is a lot of challenges, trying to teach your kid, the world is not just what you see, right? The world is a lot more. And I feel that that's a challenge. And as parents, as kids from this generation become parents, where that line is just going to be blurred more and more and more and more, until like you're going to end up with a race of humans that are just cattle.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Yeah,
the
bro.
ultimate. I think that's the ultimate choice right there. I think that's like the great filter. Like I don't know if you heard of that term before, but the great filter, like of things that whether we decide where we go extinct or raise above ourselves. I think it's gonna come down to, do we follow the primitive side of us who wants everything, or do we just go with what we need?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like just think about how much money people who dedicate themselves to influencing people to buy stuff make.
Oh
right?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah. That's
So
a whole
like
nother.
the influencers are essentially just everybody's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this, and yeah, just go ahead and if you want it, you can buy it. That's fine. And then these people, these are walking, talking, breathing, living commercials.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
no
and
longer even have to advertise. Like, back in the day, right? Those commercials, we get like 15 minutes of content, 15 minutes of commercials, right? Now you have these revenues like, like an iPhone or an Android, whichever one you rock. They're just portals to their services. That's what I mean, like this subculture, right? Xbox is even doing it. So I mean, like you got this subculture where it's like we just want you to sub to us, and that's how we get our revenue. That's how we get paid. You're a literal dollar sign. If we can convince you to use our services and we make you dependent on it, here's our gateway drug. Here, just try it. Hit this real quick. Ain't that cool? That 30-day trial? You still need it, right? And that's pretty much how that works. And it's like when I see the influencers online, like someone who's like, "Oh man, I'm not a sellout." You need to live too. You're making great content every day to day. You're not seeing revenue. You're going to sell out soon, and you're going to try to push that just shitty like Wacom tablet, on your channel, knowing that it's a terrible product. But the more they click that link, the more you get paid. So you tend to sell your soul so gradually, and it's one of those things where wow, like what if Wi-Fi ceased to exist? What would the world do? That's a pretty scary world to live in. You know what I mean? And I'm laughing nervously here because I'm just like, that is a pretty scary world to live in because I'm only getting older and older. I can't run a mile in like 5 minutes anymore. It's just, man, what's gonna happen with these kids, man? Like for real, I don't know. I'm even looking at my son, like, what type of man is he gonna be? Like, it's cool that we game together, right? It's cool that we do a lot of things together. Like, I love being a parent. There's no career path. I can't go to college for being a father, right? This is my passion here. Like, I'm in love with being a father, but at the same time, I do worry. Like, hey, man, is he gonna be okay? You know what I mean? Like, is he too dependent on the game? Does he have to have every game that come out? You know what I mean? Does he have to have, social media? And I was like, nope, over my dead body, I'm gonna be a dictator till you're 18. What you do after 18 is your business. And then people got something to say about that. Because I have a channel that I have a following. A lot of people get very personal. Oh, why you gotta do like to your son? I put coins in his afro. It's a little game that we play. He does it to me too. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing harmful about that. Like, chill. So everybody's just like, it's really scary, right? I put coins in my son's afro. That's child abuse. How so? He's gonna put them in my head too. Hey, if you get every quarter, you can keep it. Put it in your savings thing. You know what I mean? It's harmless. What do you mean that's child abuse? So, a lot of people have these linear like mindsets. Everyone's getting primitive and closed-minded, and it's very concerning. But I do have hope for like those hybrids who's having children. I do have hope for those people who are just like, we don't need it. It's nice to have, but we don't need it though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's the key. Teaching them that
I know. I know that we had bought my brother a laptop because he needed it for school.
Yeah,
and
certainly did, didn't
he? and we went all out on the laptop. I mean, he has like a 2080 Ti in that laptop, and we went all out.
What?
What game does he play on that?
I don't know, dude. Because
Minesweeper.
he plays Fortnite, but he's starting to venture out to other games. So I know last time he was playing GTA on it. So he's venturing out to
You need
other
to play
games.
high fidelity games in that.
So
bitch.
you bought the laptop because he needs it, and
right, and then, so but now the thing is with him and his generation is that they feel like, oh, all that stuff is a necessity. That is something that I need and I should have because it's what everybody else has. And it's weird because like most of us, well, except for Ruben and Ray who are younger than us, we grew up in an age where we grew up in an age where like we didn't have those things. We didn't even have like internet, and when we did, you couldn't be on the fucking phone at the same time.
Don't even remind me.
Yo, Tira, mind you, we're born in El Salvador, bro. We
come from a third world country.
Third world country. Come on.
You guys are like 10 years in the past.
What the internet was like in El Salvador? Okay, you got dial-up. What they had to do was they had to take the can with the string and shake it. Okay,
like I'm talking about like as here in America, right? Born and raised in America, and I've lived in a third world country. Well, at that time before in Costa Rica, and so I know the differences. But like the thing is, as us being raised here in America and all that, and then like what we were used to and what we were expected to have and what they're expected to have now, right? Having a cell phone for us was a luxury. Like, man, if you had a beeper back in the day, man, you were rich.
Yeah,
you use that,
I remember beepers.
But if you had an
CD players,
if you had an XL, man, you were like the coolest kid on the block.
You had the walkie-talkie feature on your phone, man.
Oh, those chirp phones. Oh yeah, I remember.
I remember the bleeps.
Right.
That you go and it'd be like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, that's a chirp phone. That's a chirp phone. Yeah, I remember.
Those were the shit back in the day.
Like at some point, the phone was just like it was a necessity because it helped you communicate and get out of trouble.
Right.
Now,
but
cell phone is simply just it's
portal. Right. The thing is, back then we didn't have all those bells and whistles that we have now, right? It was just to fucking call people back in the days. As crazy as that sounds.
And back in the day, if you call somebody, they didn't pick up, you'd be like, "Oh, they busy." Nowadays, you call somebody, they don't pick up, they be like, "Are you just not gonna pick up my phone call?" Like,
But the thing is, like, and I had that conversation with my brother, just like, dude, you don't understand. Having the laptop that you have now, it's not a necessity for you. It's a luxury. Like, you can live without your fucking laptop, dude. You can go to dad.
You could go to the library, dog. Go to the library. Go there.
Not right now.
Those are the struggles too.
But like, I would tell him, like, dad has a computer, and you can go to his fucking computer. You don't need to be on your super expensive fucking laptop, and that's not a necessity.
And this is exactly a good segue for the next one, right? Because this one, we're gonna skip the whole like who did this because like otherwise we're not gonna finish.
These Ray. I already know.
Kenneth submitted this one. The schools are okay.
You put martial arts and
you have John Marshall. By the way, just That on the top you have LA High. That's when Ray and Lou went to school, and at the bottom you have John Marshall High School, which is where I went to high school.
Look at the difference, my boy.
Well, your school used to be like that before
Yeah, it
the
used to
fire.
be like that.
LA was just like, now we're just gonna build that fucking garbage tower.
Yeah.
All those schools are chunty, dude. Like,
That's true. They are.
you can't even lie, man. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
The point is that people are putting the value in the wrong place. So, like, if your brother is putting the value on the laptop, on the hardware, right? But not paying to the lesson, not paying attention to the lesson that the teachers, the valuable thing is what the teacher is giving you, right?
Right.
So go ahead, Kenneth. Go ahead, introduce this.
So I think that teachers are hella underrated, my guy. Hella underrated.
Oh,
First things first is that you have to think about all the jobs teachers do. They're not only teachers, they're babysitters and psychologists too. Because when these kids have problems, they're not just like, oh, go home. They're like, oh, what's going on? Right? So they have to carry all three jobs. And then on top of that, the parents are often a problem, not a help.
Yep.
Yeah. And so you have to, so you're trying to do, so you have a person who's a stranger to them, getting paid like shit, right? Treated like shit, have to work long hours, and then at the end of the day say, hey, I'm gonna still help your kid, right? I'm gonna still look after them. I'm gonna still keep them safe, right?
Underrated is an understatement.
It really is. It really is. And so, and you see this now with coronavirus, but you also saw this in the teacher strike that happened right before the coronavirus.
Oh, absolutely.
Where as soon as the teacher's like, no, we're not going to put up with this anymore, all the parents are like, what are we going to do now? I was like, that's what they have to go through every single day.
These are your kids. Right?
Yeah, your kids, they're short on supplies, right? They don't even get the supplies they need. States always cut this first for some reason, even though it's the best investment you could ever have. Because if you invest in education, it's literally a 2-to-1 investment.
Right? Nah, you gotta supply the police. That's why.
Right, which is actually a net loss for the economy. Right, and so when people say like, "Oh, we don't need teachers," or "I could learn online," I'm just like, "Look, you probably can learn online if you have the drive to do it." But most people can't do that. Most people don't have the time to do that, and most people can't afford babysitters or psychologists.
Yes,
you should be thanking your teacher. You should be helping your teacher.
Realistically speaking, like, how can I help? Like, as a parent, how can I contribute? Sit down with your damn child. All right, like, I'm old school. I'm not gonna pull no punches here because this is like my niche here. Sit down with your badass kid. All right, and learn with them. If you don't understand it, learn together. Google it together, something. But you shouldn't be blaming I know too many educators. My whole track record is education, right? I'm tutoring something, I'm teaching something, I'm helping some kind of office, right, with students. And it's like, you can't sit here and put it all on the teachers. They're not your scapegoats. They signed up for this. They're well aware it's going to be a tough job. Don't make it any harder for them because the pandemic happened. And before that, you didn't even want to do the work to educate your own kid. A student's job is to what? Study. Okay? Right. Help them study.
And, I'll help them get help your kids get or help the teachers advocate for your kid, right? Like, it's crazy because, like, I can't tell you, like, just recently, every year there's a parent who sends an email to my wife just like, I'm a PhD. Okay. Why? I would never allow blank to happen. Why is my kid, getting bad grades? I'm a PhD. Right. And I'm like, what the hell does your degree have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Right. Your parenting skill, or unless you have a PhD in parenting, because I'm not aware they give those shit.
Hey, do you apply? Like, I mean,
at some point, teachers become like, some people see them as enemies.
Oh yeah,
right. And that's the thing that was so baffling to me. It was like, they're on your side. They're trying to help your kid. Yeah. Like, why are you hating them for it? But then on top of all that, right? On top of all that, the pay, like I said, the pay they get for it, right? Definitely. It's just, there's a reason why there's a teacher shortage in every state in this country. Like, people don't want to be teachers. Like, I don't know if I think I told Ruben this, but when I was graduating in my last semester, one of my professors, like, we had to go through this little thing for our graduation, One of the professors said, "Hey, is any of you guys here going to go to education?" Literally, no one raised their hand.
Yeah.
And they had to try to convince them. They were saying like, "Hey, education, like teaching people, is rewarding, but everyone knows that as a teacher, you don't get treated well in this country."
Yeah.
It's
So,
so backwards. It is so backwards because I'm gonna target on LAUSD here. Like me getting education, like okay, so I've been private schooled up until high school. So me going to like middle schools, like John Muir, and then going to like Manual Arts Senior High, I noticed immediately. I'm like,
oh wait,
whoa.
you went to Manual Arts?
Yeah, I went to Manual Arts.
I went to Manual Arts.
I don't know if you ever seen a tall dude walking around in all black with chains. That was me. I didn't talk to nobody. I just beat up the bullies and did my Pokemon.
I beat up the bullies.
Oh, you beat up bullies too?
Dude, yeah, they were horrible. Like you
I
had
didn't
to.
play Pokemon, I played Yu-Gi-Oh though.
Yeah. I was Yu-Gi-Oh too. Like you had the smart kids, right? Who I was one of those kids who couldn't raise his hand in the classroom because not only is the teacher slightly annoyed, but at the same time proud that a student is there. Like, I know this, right?
Right.
It's like all these complicated roles that happen. My mom's like, "Hey, my son's smart, woo, whatever," and then like you have those students who's like, "Okay, we're about to jump this dude because he's making us all look bad." Right? And then I beat up your kid. Now your parents hell raising hell. Then my mama beat up your mama, and then the teacher get involved, and the teacher get blamed for everything that didn't happen. Okay, it's fucking chunty. Like it's a lot of things that's happening, and funding has a lot to do with it. Like our money is going towards things that we would like to have, but not necessarily needed, in my opinion. Where they say, "Oh, our money's going to the military." Okay, cool. Okay, we need some military here and there, but I mean, certain revenues and certain avenues are getting paid a little bit too much. Like I know I have a friend who sit on his computer all day, makes six figures, and all he types is like 128 lines of code, and you only need about 24 of them bitches. Like I code too, bro. Like,
can I do that?
it's so ridiculous. It's like, well, like what Max was saying. Well, I have my undergraduates, and Chuckino, like Chuck, what is it? Like history or whatever, and then I have a minor in webbing, so I deserve just six figures. I mean, no, an educator does.
Yeah.
You play with a computer. Like I would love an educator to say, you know what? We make a decent salary because this is somebody I'm handing my child to.
Yeah.
And like, he gets irritated with his teachers every day, and I'm just like, "Hey, your teacher's got a point." I mean, like, well, how come my teacher is late on my grades? Okay, because it's like 30 of you motherfuckers, bro.
And the funny thing about it is that and the funny thing about it is even if you have that whole "I can learn online" mentality, who do you think found that information to begin with?
Yeah, Khan's Academy is great.
These are coming from research professors that are finding this information.
Let me holler at the PhD dude who came at Erica crazy, bro. Let me talk about
problem. Here's the deal, like and I'm just going back to Jeffers. He said that you guys both bit of bullies. Like we don't realize it, but every now and then we act like bullies towards teachers. Like that, like you as a student, you guys can. There are some kids who are jerks sometimes, right? Oh, yeah. Nobody would have the patience to deal with that kid, but the teacher does. The teacher willingly says, "Okay, I'm going to go ahead and handle this as much as I can," and they don't realize the psychological toll that a teacher, that the profession, takes on a person. Like because they have to deal with parents, they have to deal with kids, and sometimes these kids are in really bad situations, and teaching is a profession where you really, really have to develop empathy, and you're like, okay, I need to care for these kids, but then you're like, dude, my kids are homeless, like my kids don't have food, right? My kids are like going through a divorce right now. They're like, a lot of teachers, they literally they are constantly tugged at heartstrings sometimes, and it's really exhausting. And then they care so much, and then they go home, and then there's a parent who's just like, why aren't you doing more? And I'm like, dude, they're doing so much for it.
Right. And they're doing it for not one or two or three or five kids that you may have, but 60, 70, 80 kids.
You got to multiply that. And then here's the thing, too. ESL. A lot of students aren't coming in learning English. They're coming in with several languages. Like mine was Creole. I had to learn English as a second language. So like it was really hard for me to concept like literature and all these other things got going on. So you can't expect me to go online when it's all English, right? What if I don't know something about a computer? Education, like educators and students alike are struggling with technology because we're not used to that type of, everyone's adjusting, so to speak. And I conclude saying, like, you know what? If we have time to get on our stupid little phones and blow up about a fucking gender reveal party, oh my God, it's a boy. You can at least say, you know what? Let's try to help the educators as much as possible, because it's a real thing. It's a real vendetta with me. I don't like what I see. And I've always been outspoken about it. I go to the parent conferences, I raise hell at the schools, and I'm just like, look, I will fucking volunteer. Now you don't have no excuse, parents. I'm not on the parent side here. I'm just letting you know. So what if I'm a parent? I'm not on the parent side here who's going to mindlessly complain about their children being at home all day. We get it, but would you let them go home and get sick? I mean, go to school and get sick? You know?
A lot of people schools are constantly getting flack, but it's because they have that same mentality where negativity is a lot more popular than positivity, right? They neglect to see just, they're like, oh my God, like look at this, the kids are not going to school, like the number of students is dropped, right? But they're not researching just how much LAUSD has done in order to accommodate students. Like we have people who are getting paid to be in schools every day, giving out laptop, giving out hotspots. There's a lot of things that are like LAUSD that they've done, and it's positive. This is something that very few people know. Like LAUSD opened up hundreds of positions throughout LA County to hire individuals who speak different languages so that they can coach parents through the process of ensuring that their kids stay in school.
Right.
Okay?
Also, a big one, Max, is like, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this, but like welfare, right? So they made sure that parents are getting PEBT, which is like, you know how to get free lunches. Okay, we can't hand you these lunches no more, but we're going to fund a household to get groceries so your children can eat.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And things like that. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, and they along with the college system was the one who negotiated for the free internet from AT&T, so you could get online and take the classes.
Wow, that's crazy.
And if you want to contrast, right? There was a teacher. I remember watching a documentary. This was stuck with me. It was a teacher in Korea. He was just a normal teacher, but he really cared about his kids. He was in South Korea, so he developed a study plan to help these kids learn better without having to overwork themselves, because that's a big problem in Korea. And now he gets paid $1 million a year by the school system to teach that system to other teachers.
Exactly.
That's lit.
That's the difference between that country who cares about teacher and this one.
See, what happens here is like you have the same person, right? Yeah. And they're like, okay, I developed this program, and it has some positive features to it. What people do is like, I'm going to make money out of this. And they take it and they make their own private industry. So instead of the government saying like, okay, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and snag that. We're gonna compensate you, as you deserve, right? Because you created this. But here, people, when they realize something, they're like, it's mine. I can't share with anybody unless they pay.
Yeah, it didn't used to be that way either. I wonder what changed.
Just human behavior, greed, entitlement, a lot of the things that we didn't conveniently have back then, because
and the struggles.
Yeah, like your average American, will feel some sort of pride or egotistic. It's a little of that in all of us, right? But it's how we go about it. Yeah. That's the key point. This goes to parents, educators. You name the title, you name the occupation. It's how we choose to go about things. Yeah. So if I still has a parent and say, well, my son has a B, he never got a B, and he's like, okay, what is that little, I'm going to say ninja, doing to get a B in that class, right? Like, it's something that he may not really understand. Let me get in a parent conference. Let me get involved in coffee with the principal, the tutor. Like, there's Khan's Academy. There's so many other revenues where free books, like a lot of college students, this may be good for your brother. Like O'Reilly, it's literally REILLY. They've partnered with a lot of schools to give students free books. You use your student email, you get free books. You may not even have to pay for those books, right? There's so many other resources out there. And for me, it's just each one, teach one. That's how my culture survived. That's how we keep living. Each one, teach one. So we can't have this sense of entitlement and sense of self as if people aren't around us. That's why a plural lifestyle is very healthy. But when you put organizations and school districts and just this false sense of entitlement and ignorance together, you come up with this catastrophe. You know what I mean? And I really hope we work it out, because educators are getting the shit in the stick again, and I do not like it one bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was like one perfect thing that I saw actually on Instagram today. where like shows like how much education is like really needed, especially with teachers. There was a cholo, and he's recording, and he goes, "Hey man, I just got the news that like my niece, my sister's daughter just got placed like in special education, and because the reason why is because of her homework." And and then he takes a pause and he's like, "Bro, I've been doing her homework."
Whoa.
Dude,
Oh,
I think that this what you call it, this home, staying home and do studies. I feel like I fear that this gonna fail hard because
Oh, yeah.
they like you don't have that teacher,
Mhm.
that person who could help you out. Literally, you only have your parents.
Mhm.
But in this case, it's the teacher has been doing all this help for you.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah. And I do exempt the parents that like don't know, right? Because all of our parents don't know how things work, at least like now. I'm talking about those parents who know better. You know what I mean? Like I have a PhD. That got to me because I'm just like, who cares about your PhD, fool? Like you know how much time you had to invest? Time is the most expensive currency we have, and the more that we waste, the worse things get. Okay, you went to
Yeah.
go get your PhD, but what about your kid? Who was watching your kid? You wasn't. I'm
No,
sure.
but now they have to realize that because
Yeah.
now they don't have a choice.
See, the thing is that with the online system, right? You know, you are essentially depriving the child of, the idea that you can belong to a society where you have to follow rules,
Mm,
right? Because at school, there are things that you can't do, right? You shouldn't do. It could be as minuscule as, like, hey, you don't chew gum in class, right? Don't eat in class. Don't throw that shit around. Don't punch that kid. Don't run in the hallway. Like there's little things, but little by little, kids are getting to the idea that, like, hey, you know what? I can't do everything I want, right? I can't just shit everywhere, right? Like I need. There is a certain, pattern to
Range
the
of
society
acceptable.
for you to be
Yeah.
successful.
right.
And in here, like now, I'm telling you, it's. I'm trying to deal with it because as educators, we're working with what we have, right?
Right.
I get it. There's a certain level of tolerance that goes to it, right?
Yeah.
But when you see students who are like this, in
Mhm.
your pillow, just chilling, I'm like, it gets to me because I'm like, you're not there 100%.
Yeah.
You're doing what you're. There's a level of you that is saying like, oh, I can do whatever the heck I want, right? All I need to do is just shut off the camera, do this. No, right? There are rules. There are certain things, and then kids need to grow up with this because it's okay. College students, they're adults. Who cares? I mean, like life is gonna punish them. But for like, like, yeah,
But you're right.
you're like, man, dude, you can make that child's life so much better if you say like, hey, you know what? Instead of like arguing and coming up with this like just like exploding, right? Like, which eventually translates to like, oh, that's the person who goes to the grocery store and just grabs shit and throws it to the floor because they're upset. It's like, dude, there's a way that you can carry it yourself in society, and they're not getting this right now. And usually, the teacher is there to show them, like, hey, this is how you become a model citizen.
But look, right here in society, people think I'm gonna learn the hard way.
Yeah, the problem is
The problem is the
okay,
hard way. Yeah.
Because the thing is like you could tell a story. A parent could tell a story to his son. Look, this is what happened to me. I don't want you to have the same mistake I did. But the kid in his mind said, I'm still gonna do it.
Okay.
We all did that. I know.
But the thing is, like, they had to get the idea.
FOMO.
Just learn, dog. Just learn to listen.
That's Ruben right there.
I
Because I did my whole entire life, I didn't listen at all. I learned the hard way, like a dumbass.
You know,
So-
and that's like
I can vouch
nature.
for that.
Yeah, like that's like nature. So it depends. I want to put a huge emphasis on the type of parent that we want to become, or the type of influence we have on those who are dependent on us, because it's not just the parents, it's those with plural lifestyles, right?
Yeah.
And if I teach my brother to be a piece of dirt, he's going to be a piece of dirt, right? I have to live by example. So, with my son, and I'm just going to say it out, I've said it everywhere. I am not traditional, nor am I modern. I don't believe in free range parenting. I'm not with all these little cute terms. Look, you get what you work hard for. That's just the bottom line. Just know you're going to have to work twice as hard for the things you go see some other kids get, and some you might not. At the end of it, you only get what you put in. So there's one time, like,
think
his
now-
teacher was telling him,
No, but
like,
now parents have to work twice as hard, like you said, because there's no babysitter around there to sit in for
They're not
24/7.
willing to do
real
it.
talk, we had them, right? We had them. It was fun making them. We go after raising them. It is what it is. All right.
Yup.
So,
All right. That's a good way to end this
yeah.
topic. Actually, I clearly chose a good one.
Yeah, so I think at this point we're going to have to take closing arguments because it is 11:02 and we
Right.
have ran the course
Yeah.
of the podcast. There are multiple things that we consider to be underrated, but we can visit them in a future time.
Yeah.
We don't gotta talk about this Bulbasaur. That's not important.
You know,
Um,
we've reached an intellectual high right now. Let's keep it there. Let's end it.
What was the next thing? What was the next?
Lower it down.
What was gonna be
Everybody,
the next
I
thing?
do
What was
thank
the-
you for having me. I had a lot of fun. I didn't even realize the time went by. Thanks for having me.
yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
welcome,
Thanks
man.
for
Welcome.
coming.
Dope.
Yeah.
Come by whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
Great. I'll love
It's
to.
crazy that you guys went to the same, what, middle school or high school?
High school.
High
They went
school.
to high school.
Yeah, that's insane.
They went to the totally high school.
Did you ever go to the football games?
Oh, you mean this is before or after the drive-bys?
Somewhere between.
Like
It was so bad they called
Yeah,
it
they
the
call
toilet.
they call us the toilets.
toilets, yeah, of course. They got washed, man.
That's crazy.
Wait, what year you graduated?
Oh wait. Class 08.
Oh shit, he graduated the same year as me.
You
Yeah.
graduated 2 years before I did.
Yeah, so I mean that place was a dump.
All right. Okay. Thank you for being here, Jeffers. Again, we appreciate your intake and taking the time to just share your opinions with us. I know that we all kind of want to keep our privacy, so we appreciate it a lot. Ray, go ahead, take us out.
Well, this has been it for this episode tonight. Thank you for our guest Jeffries for being here. We welcome him anytime, and that has been it. Any last comments you guys want to add? Okay.
See you guys in the next one.
Everybody, please be
Yeah.
safe. Respect your educators, parents. Do your
Go to
job.
class online. Go to class, Gogs. Go to class.
And do good bets.
You end up getting more than what you pay.
Hey, low-key, high-key, I saw that Kratos figure. I was like, bro, put that away, man. I'm getting jealous, man.
But remember, but you just gotta remember, a teacher taught Andres how to count, so he could count those ones.
Yeah, taught him how to read too.
And just as much as you had to count all the steps you had to come to my house.
I'm not gonna count that. I just did it. You can take my PE teacher from me doing it.
There's a teacher that I don't know how the heck they're working.
Yo, my PE teacher just taught me how to ditch class. That's all I know.
Oh, I know. Some of them like on Zoom, they'll be like, "All right, dude, jumping jacks on fucking Zoom."
Imagine
Yeah.
the PE teachers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a freelance. I know with my son, like in a specific case, they have him focus more on like the anatomy, how the human body works. Some like sex ed here and there. We have to sign for that. Like they're being more like textbook.
Oh,
Right.
So I mean, like,
That's actually very valuable.
Yeah. It's almost like
It's
like-
funny. This dance class at Santa Monica, they
Dance
just have
class.
you copy the teacher what she's doing. I'm like,
okay.
All
Cool.
right.
go to the conference, have fun.
I was like, that's an easy A right there.
All right.
All right.
So
all
finish
right.
it up. All right.
All right, then. Peace, guys. See you the next time at the same time, man. If
See you on the big 20, episode 20 next time.
Right.
2-0. Let's go.
Damn, we made it to episode 20.
The
a huge
dreaded
cheer.
20. The dreaded 20.
Yeah. We're gonna continue with the underrated segment at the end of the podcast.
Oh my god, maybe we'll finish it. All right,
Yeah, maybe.
bye guys.
Right. Good night.
Peace,
Good
baby.